Oh, shit. Hello there. I didn't see you come in. We were just waiting for no reason to get started on Die Party's new game called LA at Night, which happens to most certainly use the Masquerade 20th edition sourcebook material as a base for the game. And I certainly wouldn't know why all these people are here. It seems that these people have changed positions. I will have to change them. I'm such a professional streamer, after all. But let's go around
Gray.
and introduce Brian, who will be
I
playing.
really like your hair, Tuesday.
Oh my god!
Thanks.
I like what you did with your chin bangs.
That's the creepiest name for beard I've ever heard.
I'm using it from now on. This is
I mean, I can make it worse. Oh, I like what you did with your chin leavings.
Oh dear.
That's pretty gross. All right, let's introduce all of our players who will be playing today, because today we're doing character creation for our game, which means that I hope you got your manuals ready, motherfuckers, because we're gonna get deep. Speaking about getting deep, I'm sorry, Tuesday Gray.
Thanks for that amazing lead-in. Hello, everybody. I'm Tuesday Gray. You can find me in all the internet places at /Tuesday Gray. I have not played Vampire the Masquerade before, so I'm going to scrub it up for a bit.
Hell yeah.
But I'm super excited to play. Let's do this.
Nice. Speaking about being excited to play, on the playground finally, now that his ban has been lifted, Mr. Tuxford, how you doing, sir?
Whoa.
Whoa.
I was acquitted.
It's not a crime if you never get Anyway, hi. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm Tuxterdamus. You can find me at all the places /Tuxterdamus. I am also very excited to be here. I have not played World of Darkness either. I have played similar games, similar themed games, but not similar games because the system's weird. But
so you're a thematic master, but you're a system newbie.
Basically, yes.
Mm-hmm. I like it. And last but not least, from the player side of things, we have probably the only other person from the players who has any idea what's happening, Mr. Brian, aka Sputnik. What up, sir? How you doing?
Hey. Yeah, so I played World of Darkness in a little game called Sin Eaters for a while. So,
Sin Eaters, woo!
Represent!
Sin. That's not working.
So, I'm looking forward to getting back into the World of Darkness because
Aye,
last
brother.
time I played it, it was pretty fucking fun.
Yeah, well, the difference is that was, correct me if I'm wrong, Wreckage, that was New World of Darkness.
Yeah, it was.
And this is Old World of Darkness, so there's gonna be.
Oh yeah, it is.
There's gonna be some. There's gonna be some changes, you know. But,
those of you who are joining us from Cyberpunks in the same time slot and are used to really clunky systems that have a lot of inherent flaws are going to be well at home in Old World of Darkness.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I will make no promise that the rules will be the same from week to week as we encounter things that don't work.
Well, I mean, it's a 20th edition, so probably lots of errata.
So they fixed some things. I mean, in every edition of Vampire, they fixed some things. You know, like they fixed, but they say fixed and then it's still not fixed. For example, we were talking earlier about the True Bruja clan power Temporis, which they fixed. So it went down from the most powerful power to the game to the most powerful power in the game, but not as powerful.
Are you fucking serious? That didn't seem very powerful at all. The way they described it in the book. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's introduce Game Master, aka the storyteller of the LA at Night game, Mr. Dr. Wreckage. What up, sir? How you doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Wreckage. I've been a game master for a while, and World of Darkness was the first system I ever game mastered.
I really appreciate people who cut their teeth on the hard stuff, My first system was fucking Cyberpunk. So, like,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, my first system was World of Darkness purely because we wanted to play World of Darkness. And I had had plenty of experience as a player at that point. Like, I knew that sometimes systems didn't work out of the box. And since then, I've run a lot of World of Darkness in the things that I run. And I'm excited to get back to basics, especially for an audience game, because at the end of the day, it's still important that our players have fun, but the most important thing is that we put on a good show. And I think Cyberpunk's 2020 proved that even if the system isn't perfect, you can still put on a good show with it.
Hell yeah.
So we can just put on an old World of Darkness show. The players have been getting really hyped and consuming ancillary material to get them ready for the World of Darkness. Tuesday has been playing Vampire the Bloodline game.
I tried to play that game. It's old.
That's hilarious because I love it.
Really? Are you running any mods? Because
I've been staying up till 4 a.m. No, I just have the latest patched version.
Okay, so I started with
GOG from Good Old Games.
Yeah, I started with the NT Tribune mod, which fucked,
that mod's a fan-made mod and doesn't work.
It fucked everything. Like all the cool story plots and shit like that were just like. But the thing is what they did. That mod was just like, hey, you could play as True Bruja or like La Sombra or all that shit. And I was like, sweet, that sounds like fun. I'll play that. But nah, apparently they fucked everything. I walked into a tower that was literally filled with pot plants, like the handles on the doors.
I watched your video of that and I could not. I was laughing so hard I was crying.
Yeah, you walk.
Shit was fucking hysterical.
Walking off the street, I'm just like, I walk in, I look around for a few seconds, I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, but it kind of looked like a ransacked house for a little bit, and then I walked downstairs and checked the basement, and it was just like all the doors had pot plants for handles, and I'm like,
yeah,
God.
Because it started slow as like a few randomly placed ferns, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. The farther they went, it was fucking great.
You walk into someone's apartment, and the entire thing is like there's like a.
Did you select Malkavian? Was this perhaps a hallucination?
No, I was La Sombra.
Hallucination.
That would be super cool.
They do that, and that's actually the coolest thing. If you play the straight flat game as Malkavian, they put in hallucinations. They also put in dialogue options that only you can say. Because, like, if you walk up to somebody as a Malkavian in that game, and the quest is to figure out that they're secretly a murderer, your first line of option can be like, so how's the murdering going?
Yeah, it's I tried to play the Malkavian, but I'm just like, all right, bump my seduction, let's go. And then I get in the game and all the seduction options are removed, and I'm like, fuck. So, didn't really have a lot of fun with that. But anyway, let's talk Vamp. Let's talk some Masquerade. Let's
I'm not going to explain the grappling rules, you monster. Nobody's grappling anybody in Old World of Darkness. You hear me?
Got it.
Stay 10 feet away from everyone at at all times.
Problem. One of my powers requires a grapple check.
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Anyway, moving along.
Let's see here.
So, Wreckage, why don't you explain the system, I guess, a little bit before we get started?
So we are going to be playing Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition, which is, to my knowledge, the most updated version of Old World of Darkness.
It's the one that White Wolf Games, or White Wolf Publishing, totes as the one that needs to be sold, and it is the basis for Vampire. So
it is lauded as perhaps one of the greatest role-playing games that has ever been made. Its age and clunkiness withstanding, its setting and what it tried to do in the time that it tried to do it was nothing short of a spark of genius, a unique and wholly onto itself experience that exploded in the role-playing game tabletop community. when there were updates to the meta plot, something that Vampire the Masquerade did was had a meta plot as it was in a publishing run. And we can't participate in that now because it's behind us. It ended with the end of the world. The whole meta plot was building up to the end of the world, and you could play. Game masters could get the material to run their players through each event of the meta plot as it happened to make them feel like they were interacting with what was happening everywhere. It was like the first MMORPG almost. In that the massively multiplayer online part of it was entirely within one's head. But that said, it did these fantastic things, and as a result, it has lived on, not only in 20th edition, not only in video games, harkening back to it, but the LARPing community is huge for Vampire the Masquerade.
Like, even here in Poland, like, I shit you not, there is we did some 3D printing for a LARPing community, and that's like, yeah, we're playing Vampire the Masquerade. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like, out of all the things you could fucking play, they're playing Vampire the Masquerade.
And it would be cool. It would be so cool to do. Show up in a nightclub, and from the moment you show up, you are pretending that you're a vampire, and everybody else is pretending they're a vampire, and then you talk politics. Like, and I don't know how it works because I've never LARPed, and I've certainly never LARPed Vampire the Masquerade, but like I presume that they maintain the politics of the city from event to event. So, you can work your way up in the world. Which just sounds really awesome. But all of that is just to say that this is perhaps the most storied legendary World of Darkness game.
All right, time to ruin it.
And
don't build it up or anything.
And this is also the moment to say that what they did with New World of Darkness Vampires was stupid and awful, and I cannot believe they thought it was a good idea.
What did they do?
All of this cool shit that we're going to explore in the lore, the clans, Cain, God, all of those themes, they threw that out the window.
And also, there's no vampires in New Vampire the Masquerade. It's weird.
They're not really vampires, and they have these weird owl creatures that follow them around. I don't
know a weird owl creature.
Yeah, no, you don't. It's really dumb.
What? But I like owls.
Imagine Harry Potter as a fucking vampire.
I will be back.
Tell me more.
Basically, New World of Darkness has not been particularly successful. It's somewhat riding on the coattails of its previous incarnations.
I mean, why fuck with something that's not broken, right? I mean, it is broken, but like,
well, they did fuck with it, and they fucked with it in the exact wrong way. Anyway, this is not the time or the place, because we are playing the best version of World of Darkness, or the original Vampire the Masquerade. Now, we had a discussion. You can go back and see that episode. It's on Dave's YouTube channel about what we actually wanted out of this game.
It'll be in the playlist, the very first episode. But
the discussion about what we actually wanted from this game, and one of the things was the politicking and favor broking and like living under the thumb of a prince. Our players weren't interested in that as a general rule. So we are doing an Anarch campaign. And of course, those of you that are familiar with the Vampire the Masquerade lore, there's only one place where you can really be an Anarch, and that's in the Free States. I don't know if the Free States have a gang sign, but basically, the vast majority...
What's this?
Anarchy, woo! Like some sort of like... it's my middle fingers, but also it's an A. So the Free States were formed by the Anarchs. We're going to learn more about that in character, but it's basically like the 90% of the southern 90% of California is basically the Anarch Free States.
You've ever played Vampire the Masquerade? It literally takes place there, so...
It takes place in quasi LA. Like
they literally say this is Anarch territory and all these motherfuckers are coming into it within the first 4 hours of that game.
But you still have a prince. So like that's part of it too. Like cuz you can choose Camarilla, Sabat or Anarchs as your
I didn't
and you
get
can
that
also-
deep. Talk to Tuesday about this shit. She's
Yeah,
my
Tuesday
go-to girl
knows.
about this shit.
Tuesday knows the story. It's not exactly LA because they had to do their own thing in order to have all 5 factions be available to be chosen from. All 5 factions, and also you can choose fuck all factions. I'm completely alone, which is a great option. But also our players wanted to play a bunch of the rare bloodlines, and normally if you're a GM, that's something you don't want to really allow because the rare bloodlines are cool, but they introduce a lot of complications. And instead I saw, fuck it, like we're not going to be playing 10 versions of Vampire the Masquerade, right? There isn't going to be another chance to see all these cool bloodlines. So let's just let everybody be all of the cool bloodlines, and we'll make that the story. We'll make the story, why are there all these rare bloodlines? So as we move into character creation, the basic premise that the audience should be aware of is that our 4 players are going to be sired in the Anarch Free States clandestinely. And the Anarchs are going to show up and interrupt the siring, and their sires are going to fuck off. And then part of the campaign will be if the Anarchs can trust them, if they can find their sires and learn more about their bloodline.
It's basically vampires with daddy issues, the game. So
daddy issues. As Dave said in the other video, GTA with vampires is going to be a large part of it. Like, you can just stake out your territory and not give a fuck about who your dad is. Thank you, Chucks. Thank you, Chucks.
Hey, Brian, want to go bowling?
Hey, big American titties.
Right. So, I will have the players cast their minds into the 20th edition PDF on page 88 in the PDF reader.
Boom.
8d8.
So if you're playing at home, that's page 80.
Okay, so 8d8. Page 43, got it.
I suppose you could do what you like.
Tux, that's not even a funny joke, man.
Look, as long as I find myself funny.
As long as you find yourself funny.
Okay. Is this just real quickly, Wreckage? Does this Roll20 have character sheets and all that stuff?
Yep.
Sweet. Okay. Okay, cool. So what we're looking at here, ladies and gentlemen, is a creation process. There are apparently 5 stages to this. So, we're just going to go through them all piece by piece, and we're going to build our characters. Now, every person was given homework to come up with an idea of what their character was going to be, and this whole episode is going to be about fleshing them out and fitting them into the world a little bit better. So I guess maybe we should go around and sort of talk about what our sort of ideas are, and we can go from there. So I think the person who has the most fleshed out character out of all of us is probably Brian.
Me?
So maybe we can start with Brian. What do you say, B Dizzler?
Do you want me to just read the profile that I wrote earlier?
I mean, you can give a synopsis, maybe.
Well, actually, slow down, because let's do. Let's get. We don't want to. Here's my point. A lot of things are going to change in the process of character creation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so that's why I'm just give an idea of like what you're thinking your theme might be for your character.
Okay. So basically, my guy. Let me get my paper out here. So I'm going to be playing a guy that in his human life was one of the first real big sort of computer programmers, and had a lot of people like big businesses coming after him to help him out with this new thing called the World Wide Web. Remember when we used to call it that? People that were born before
www.
1985?
dot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the internet, the way you used to get to the internet was on something called the World Wide Web. Actually, I think it's still called that, but we don't call it that anymore. It's just the internet. But anyway,
HTTP.
he basically he did some fucked up shit. Basically, the thing that I wrote was, well, first of all, his name is Braden Pace, and he actually created the first revenge porn website when his girlfriend broke up with him, and realized that he enjoyed causing pain in other people using the internet. So he's actually a really big sadist dick.
I created 4chan. My name is Moose.
Yeah. He is the hacker known as 4chan. So, yeah, basically, he's like and my clan is Ravnos. So I have a propensity, or one of my weaknesses is
Crime.
crime, basically. And when I have the opportunity, right, and when I have an opportunity to commit this specific crime, I actually have to roll to avoid it. And if I don't, then whatever's going on, even if something is trying to kill me, I have to do that instead.
Keep in mind that you can also just give in, and that prevents there from being negative consequences from failing the roll. And I think it can also restore willpower.
Yeah. Well, one thing I have that can restore willpower is my sadist attribute or whatever, character trait. If I cause pain on someone else purely for my own enjoyment, it will restore 1 willpower. So look for me to cause pain and enjoy it, because it's not happening to me.
So that's your nature then.
Mm-hmm.
What is it again? Nature.
Is it nature? Is that what it's called?
I'm
There's
confused
clan,
because
nature, and demeanor.
I'm confused because normally in New World of Darkness, which I do think was a positive experience, it was phrased as vice and virtue.
Yeah. So yeah, the nature.
Yeah,
is,
it's nature and demeanor.
Yeah, nature is his nature is sadist.
And his what's it?
Sadist.
Sadist. Sorry.
Sadist just sounds like I'm crying in the corner.
I mean,
He's the saddest.
he's the saddest one. You know?
I'm so sad.
Yeah, nature and demeanor. I guess it's the same thing. Like it's under the same category. So
nature is the one that you truly are. Demeanor is the one that you pretend to be in polite company.
Right.
Well, that's interesting. So you pick 2?
You pick them both. You don't pick one.
Oh.
So yeah, in polite company, I'm like a tech programmer guy.
Okay, but that's not a demeanor.
Yeah, I know it's not a demeanor. I gotta find one that makes it.
A visionary?
You're clearly a creep show.
You think?
I mean, are you still running the revenge porn website?
Well, yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's how I make my money. Where? I don't understand where demeanors are, because I saw like.
It's the same thing. Natures and demeanor are the same thing. You just pick 2.
They are archetypes, and nature is the one that you are on the inside, and demeanor is the one that everybody else thinks you are.
Okay, so my demeanor is not.
We can come back to you. It doesn't need to.
No. My demeanor is. I've got it. Visionary. That's what it was.
Okay.
Because one of my things too is like, I feel like I'm on the cutting edge of the new technology, right? So
cool technology.
Yeah, I've got a pager and everything. It's great.
So here's the thing. You guys have character sheets, so you should be filling this out.
We do.
I don't.
You should. I see your character sheet actually. Interesting.
I was Rodney. I was Rodney versus California, but now I'm Tux.
Yeah.
You were never Rodney versus California.
I was too.
Interesting.
dots.
Okay.
Can I have all the dots?
Yes,
No.
you can have 7, 5, and 3.
There. Now I have all the dots.
No, you can't. You can't have all the dots.
I ruined my fun.
Not
All right,
even.
so
Jeez, there's not a lot of
would-
choices here, and they're all
What
pretty just like.
what generation? What is that? Like just first?
Right. So, well, that is. So with generation, that comes in at the merit section because there is a starting generation, but you can augment it with merits to be a lower generation. And for those of you who aren't familiar, generation is very important. Cain, who killed Abel, is the first vampire.
Mhm.
If he sires someone, that vampire is first generation. If that vampire sires someone, that vampire is second generation. So generation is how many vampires you are away from Cain, and the further you are away from Cain, the weaker your blood is. Make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, yeah. People try to put us down, just because we get around. Talking about my generation.
Fuck you. Just stop. Just
So,
stop.
Wreckage, what would you say my concept is?
Pervy internet.
Just because I run a porn website doesn't mean I'm a perv.
Pervy internet trailblazer.
Internet trailblazer,
Pervy internet trailblazer.
not pervy.
Pervy internet trailblazer.
Okay. Sire, I'm just going to put question marks, right?
Yeah.
And Chronicle?
So
God damn it, Wreckage.
Chronicle is the name of the game for like the purposes of when you would actually have this character sheet in a store
okay.
and maybe
Gotcha.
lose it, and they would know how to give it back to you. So we can use LA at night. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Someone else want to start theirs?
Yeah. So, given the demeanors and natures and shit like that that they have there, I picked my nature is thrill seeker. Let me explain my character first. So, I don't have a name for him yet, but I'm thinking something like Soul, something. I don't know. We'll work it out.
Better Call Saul.
Oh, now I have to change it. So he's in his life before being embraced, he was a homicide detective, and I wanted to be him to be able to get as close as he could to the Masquerade without getting killed, and I'm not sure how close that is, Wreckage. So, like in his investigation work, he stumbled upon the Masquerade and was sired.
Like basically not at all. And also, no, you can't say why you were sired because that's part of the mystery.
Interesting. Okay. Well, so I don't know. I was just a homicide detective then, and I've seen a lot of shit in LA, especially.
Basically, what will happen here is that you'll be a vampire and you were a homicide detective, and like maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks into being a vampire, you'll be like, hold on a second. That's what all those weird fucking cases were. Like, it'll just sort of dawn on you that, oh, yeah, all those times that my police chief pulled me off the case and told me not to, he's going to handle it. Somebody else is going to do it or whatever. Like,
yeah, I see my police chief at like a fucking blood bag ceremony, whatever the fuck they call it. Like a blood doll ceremony or some shit. I don't know. He's just like, hey, what's up? Good to see you finally being embraced or whatever. I don't know. Fucking, yeah.
Your police chief wouldn't be a vampire, but he would be a ghoul, probably. The thing is, and this is where it differs, right? Because the police officer turned vampire is a more interesting story in a Camarilla city, because the Camarilla will own like
their own security.
15 to 20% of any given police department will be ghouls or thralls or somehow enslaved by the Camarilla. But in an Anarch city, they don't give a shit. For example, unlike in virtually every single vampire-controlled city, the mayor of Los Angeles is not a ghoul and is not a vampire. He's a human. He doesn't know that vampires exist. like the head of city government isn't controlled by the vampires. What the hell? Weird. Whoa. Like, that doesn't ever happen.
Okay. So for his nature, I picked Thrill Seeker because deep down, he likes the thrill of the chase, I guess, or like, you know, hunting down criminals and shit like that.
Okay.
And the only other one that sort of fit was kind of like Soldier, because it says you follow orders but in your own way. You know, so that's the only one that really fit his outward.
You follow
demeanor.
orders, but in your own way. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you know, he gets things done as an investigator, but he, for the most part, doesn't do it like. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I'm following.
Yeah, you see what I'm putting down.
I'm following. He's really in it for the thrills and the emotional satisfaction of doing these things, but outwardly he does it because he's a good police officer and he follows orders and he does his job, and that'll carry over into your vampiric life. The clan will be like, hey, do a thing, and you'll do it because you outwardly are someone who follows orders, but inwardly you're like, oh, I'm so excited to use my vampire powers to tear a guy in half or whatever.
Sure.
So yeah,
that
makes
sense.
perfect sense. Would anybody else like to share potential natures and demeanors?
Sure. So my current concept is a lot looser. I'm thinking I was like a doctor, someone kind of in the medical field. Probably like an intern or the one above intern. What are those?
Resident.
Yeah, one of the either one of those.
There you go. Boom.
Like fairly,
Oh yeah,
probably
I didn't
fairly
mention.
young still.
I didn't mention my clan. It was La Sombra that I'm gonna go with. So
Right. La Sombra. Shadow.
there was a lot of like, well, what if I take this rare bloodline or whatever? And I was like, every single La Sombra like rare bloodline or like weird bloodline was like, yo, I hope you like fucking demons, asshole. Because it's like, you know, it's
That's
all
one
like,
of the La Sombra.
It literally says that in the book.
yeah.
I hope you like fucking demons.
Hey,
asshole.
yo, I hope you like fucking demons, asshole.
Yeah.
In some editions, they forgot the comma and put in an S.
Yeah, I would like demons assholes. But originally my plan was like, you know, I read the book and I'm like, yo, Wreckage, I'm super excited about True Bruja, bro. I really like their aesthetics and I really like that they start to lose emotions over time. And then Wreckage is like, no, because their powers are bullshit. And I'm like, why? What's their powers? Like time stopping? And I'm like, fucking goddamn it.
They control time. The True Bruja control time.
Yeah.
And there was an original version which was like at 2 dots take 3 turns when everybody else only takes 1. And it's like, that's dumb.
Yeah,
But
the way
then
they described it in the book was just like, yeah, at 4 dots you can stop like a cloud of bullets hitting you, and at 2 dots you can stop someone throwing a brick at your face. And I'm like, oh, okay, that doesn't seem too bad. But you know, if it's
not just like the Matrix where Neo blocks that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like that stuff stops because everything stops, and then you just walk over, like light somebody on fire, then walk back, and then turn time back on, and then because they're a vampire, they go up like a pound of fertilizer.
You turn the bullets around, so they're going the other way. You put the guy he shot the bullets in front of the bullets that he shot. You know.
Right. So the chat is ahead of us.
Can you, if you have the one that lets you move fast, can you eventually move fast enough that you are like Quicksilver?
Yeah, celerity people can go really, really fast.
Coolio.
Sorry, Tux.
Yeah, so Ben chat's a little ahead of us on Tux's game plan here. So you were a resident as a doctor, and
right. So I was doctor person, and then I got turned to
turned flipped upside down.
All right, fucking Jay-Z, calm down.
I got turned to a vampire, and kind of. I'm taking a little bit of an idea that Wreckage stole from somebody else in like the. I think my I'm not sure which is which, but the two that I've picked are Scientist and Trickster. I'm not sure which is which at this point because I like both of them.
Well, I guess your outward
the one
demeanor
is the-
would be like scientist, right?
Like, are you outwardly being a trickster, or is that your secret life? Like, that's the difference between the two, right?
I guess. So nature is like your true self, right?
Well,
Or
it's not so much true and false. It's more like outward and inward. Think of it more like that. So it's like when you say my nature is trickster and my demeanor is scientist, you're not a scientist. Like, you're not only actually a trickster and pretending to be a scientist. You're both things, but one of them is inward. Inwardly, you're a trickster. Outwardly, you're a scientist.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're like Gordon Freeman, who plays the tricks on all the other scientists by crawling through the events like a fucking idiot.
It's like one of them is apparent and the other one is hidden.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think my nature is going to be scientist and my demeanorly trickster.
Got it.
Then, because just like, they would like just do stuff at the hospital, or whatever, but like secretly they actually really do like medicine and finding stuff out, but like kind of like oh, I'll get people to like me if I play pranks and shit, right?
Honk honk. Oh, look at this. Oh no, I've been wounded. I've been cut. It's just ketchup.
Yeah, exactly. And then my clan is going to be Zamisi, which means I forget what the other two powers are, but the main one is I get the power to craft flesh. So like it starts out with just being myself, and then I can, once I get more powerful in it, I can do it to other people, which can be very good and very bad. Because basically I can be like, I'm going to twist your body around so you're constantly in pain for eternity, or I can like rip the cancer out of your body and now you don't have cancer. So like, there's two sides to the coin of this creepy power. And that it's the power sounded really cool to me, so that's kind of why I picked the clan. And then I'm interested to see kind of like the stuff that a doctor would want to do with this now that like gaining this ability. And using it to potentially help people, and then also using it to do stuff to people like pranks or tricks or whatever, or just hurt people, because that's a thing too. And I assume we're gonna be hurting a lot of people because we're vampires.
People will get hurt.
People will get hurt.
People are gonna have a bad time.
Let me see. That's how you spell it. Oh, wow. Never mind. So concept is pranking doctor.
Pervy pranking doctor.
Pervy pranking doctor. And then, so I think that's my first section of blocks on this sheet.
That leaves Tuesday.
Sweet, who is going to be a neglected teen turned young adult punk rock singer, basically. So my backstory is that I had wealthy parents who just basically ignored me. So I went to private schools and then boarding school, at which point I pretty much didn't have any contact with my parents anymore and just started doing drugs and getting into music. So I think, my name is Amelia Lavender Lennox, but I've taken to being called Lavin. So that'll just be my name for the game, will be Lavin.
It's not Courtney Love?
What's that?
It's not Courtney Love?
No. I'm not nearly as I'm not trashy or vindictive. Yeah.
She's classy, damn it.
No offense. Yeah. So my nature, I struggled with either child or conniver. And I don't know if at 22 will be the age of my character if you can be a child, but I think the difference is she is a little more innocent than she is.
There is actually a flaw in the game, which is childlike, so that you actually get embraced as a child, which is kind of cool. Like, if you go to page, hang on, I'll find it for you. Let's see here. Where the fuck was it? Merits and flaws.
if
It's
I
Child
do
will
think
work.
I do think the child archetype is referring to personality, not
No, there is
actual
a
body size.
3-point flaw that's like you were a small child between 5 and 10 years old at the time of your embrace,
Gotcha.
leaving your physical attributes undeveloped and making it difficult for you to interact with some aspects of mortal society. You may not have more than 2 dots in strength or stamina at character creation, except when raising physical attributes with blood points. And the difficulties of all die attempts when rolling, die rolls when attempt to direct or lead mortal adults are increased by 2. Characters with this flaw should also take the short flaw.
Okay, so what I'll actually be is I will be 22 years old, and my nature will be
How about
child, because I don't want any of that junk. And it says actual children, spoiled individuals, and some drug abusers. So I fit in the spoiled individual thing. So I'm gonna knock connive out of there, and then my demeanor will be bon vivant. I think, just basically a fun seeker, which I certainly am
Parties!
as well. Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Then Clan, of course, is a siren, but also known as Daughter of Cacophony. And my concept, all I have right
Super
now
rare
is...
bloodline. Now let's talk about how rare. So we said rare bloodlines, right?
Mhm.
Lasombra and Zamisi are common bloodlines in Sabbat, so it's rare for them to not be in Sabbat. So that's rare. Ravnos are rare because this game will take, for all you lore junkies out there, this game is taking place post Week of Nightmares, which was when the Ravnos antediluvian woke up, had an anime battle in Asia with 3 other super vampires, and then the mages used techno magic to create a sun bomb and blow them all up. And the result was the Ravnos all went crazy and ate each other everywhere, wherever they were.
Are you paraphrasing that, or is that just what happened?
That's what happened. Not a word of that is an exaggeration or a lie. It is a synopsis. The battle literally took place for a whole week. So it was an anime battle that lasted for a week that destroyed a section of India, I think. And also ultimately destroyed the entire Ravnos bloodline, except for some of them. So they're kind of rare. Daughters of Cacophony have had like 15 members on and off throughout history. They are ultra rare.
Oh.
Not that, you know, like they haven't had they haven't had any sort of catastrophic like eradication or culling, and they aren't like illegal or anything. They're just super duper rare.
So that is my top section.
Yeah, and you get like a siren type power and or
Mhm.
discipline and all that shit. So it's pretty cool.
Singing powers.
Yep.
Also,
So Mr.
also
Coffix is asking what clan, and I think it said that they could come from Tremere and what's the other, Teriador?
No, so the clan
But
is
basically
Daughters
the clan is Daughters of Cacophony, right?
The clan is Daughters of Cacophony. There is debate in the vampire community of which clan the Daughters of Cacophony originally split off from.
Mm-hmm.
But in my humble opinion, and I think we actually glazed over this, so we should actually go back for everybody. But clans have weaknesses.
Oh yeah.
Butnik mentioned his. But I think because of the Daughters of Cacophony weakness, which is that they have a song stuck in their head literally all of the time, that they hear and actually becomes somewhat maddening. In this personal storyteller's opinion, I think the Daughters of Cacophony are an offshot clan of the Malkavians. That's my assumption.
Sure, that makes sense.
Have you picked your song? What have you got?
I did pick a song. I don't know if we should reveal it this week or next.
If it's that.
Well, I can just link it in chat if you want to permit me, but we'll see. I don't know if people want to know.
You can just link.
That's a great idea.
You can just link. Don't worry about it.
All right, I'll just link it in chat.
You're permitted verbally to link. How about
So yeah,
that?
this song will be stuck in her head 100% of the time, and actually cause her to be distracted under certain circumstances.
Oh, fucking great song, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could listen to it, but I can't.
I was relearning the bass line for it, and it literally got stuck in my head. And Rex said, "Whatever song actually gets stuck in your head this week, you have to go with." So, had to go with it.
What are the Zamisi clan weakness, Tuxtradamus?
I have to sleep near a pot of dirt.
How is that a fucking weakness?
It has to be dirt. It
That's
has to be
fucking
dirt
great.
from where a place that was important to me as a mortal.
Okay.
If I don't, I like my powers start to get really weak.
Okay.
And
Can it please be a fern that you had in your office? Can it please be that?
No. It's not dirt that was important to him. It's dirt from somewhere that was important to him. Usually means like your homeland or your home. This is the Zamisi
The
clan
Indian
bloodline.
burial ground your fucking hospital was built on. Please, can we use that?
Well, and it's based on Bram Stoker's Dracula, if you recall. In that story, Dracula needs to cart all of this Transylvania over, and when they destroy that dirt by purifying it, Dracula. It's ultimately how they defeat Dracula is because he rapidly starts to die.
Yeah,
and that's what exactly will happen to Tux.
Basically, like on a normal day, it only has to be. It says like 2 handfuls, so it's just like a little bit. But the longer that I stay away from that, each night spent without that connection cuts my die pools in half. Until I'm only allowed to roll 1 die, and then to get back to my connection, I have to like actually sleep in the dirt.
Scrooge McDuck.
And then I get that connection back.
Couldn't you just like have like a pocket filled with dirt?
Just got some dirt in my pockets.
I asked the chat to deliver, and they did. Please look into the Zoom call and bask in the glory of Diabloritis.
Oh God,
that's amazing.
That is so good. Oh man, that's everything I wanted it to be. Oh man. Finally, the Lasombra clan weakness.
Oh yeah, this is a good one. Have you guys ever seen Dead and Loving It?
Nope.
Okay. Well, it's about a vampire, and he can't be seen in mirrors. So there's plenty of great scenes of them dancing in a ballroom, and like him swinging a lady around, and only the lady's just like fucking flying in the air by herself, sort of thing. And like, I'll see if I can find the gif of it, but it's fucking great. But the other thing about it is I don't show up on security cameras or anything electronic because it uses, that sort of shit. So like if I walk into like, say, a 7-Eleven and they have a camera and the guy's like watching the cameras like at the terminal or whatever and he doesn't see me, he'll be like,
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, oh, that weakness sounds like it's an advantage. Like he doesn't show up on security cameras, but really, like it's going to be even worse for him than like, oh, like because he can't turn it off, right? So when he's supposed to show up on security cameras, he doesn't.
So like for example, if I tried to rob a bank and everyone in the Anarchs was like, who was it? Was it that only once Lasombra motherfucker who doesn't show up on security cameras? Or
like I see a bag of money floating out of the bank. Who?
Come on, guys. Who was it?
Now, Wreckage, let me ask you something. Is it just me that's invisible? Is my clothes visible? Like, how does that work?
So, the Lasombra weakness, I think the best way to conceptualize it is, in the Matrix, residual self-image.
Sure,
your image of yourself doesn't show up. So things you're holding would be suspended in the air.
So if I was Donald Trump, for example, as a Lasombra, and would my suit show up and my toupee? Like, you know what I mean?
Like, exactly. Well, no, because that's part of his residual self-image. His toupee, even though it's fake, would. Hey, that's another thing we should talk about vampirism. Now that we're there,
toupees.
Yeah, actually. However you are sired is how you will wake up every single day. So if you have a beard, for example, as many ancient vampires did, right? Because they were beardy times. and suddenly it's in vogue to not have a beard, you're shit out of luck because literally every night when you wake up, you will have the beard you were sired with, even if you shave it.
You can shave that shit off though, and just go around the next day.
Yeah, but you have to shave a beard a full beard.
Look, man, if you've ever grown a beard in your life, which it looks like you haven't, you have to do that anyway, or else it just grows. So you know.
No, I'm saying is, but like, imagine if Brian's beard was twice as long. Remember when you had that rat's nest? Imagine if you had that every single day.
Look, my beard was clean, well kempt, and it smelled great. Okay.
I use beard oil.
So did I.
No, it's physical. Another thing that happens when you're sired is that you become slightly prettier than your original version. You get if you're male, you might get a little taller. You might get a little more broad-shouldered. A woman might become a little bit more
endowed
or feminine.
Yeah.
That's literally part of the curse, which would matter if we.
Oh no, you got sexy. Welcome to the curse.
Worst curse ever.
God damn it.
If it would matter if we were starting as humans and then going to play into being sired, because whatever your appearance dots were, they would actually get one. Your appearance would get one better during the process, but we're not. We're building vampires, so you don't get a free dot of appearance.
Damn it. There goes my charisma tank.
In the future, if a GM's ever like, "Do you guys want to build humans first and then get sired?" Be like, "Yes.
Yes.
I want a free dot of appearance."
Oh no, you got sexy.
Oh man.
Stupid sexy vampire.
I was going for the ugly angle, but now I can't.
It's like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Check out these nips.
Right. So, we've done the top box. We're at an hour. Do we want to take a break?
No, I'm okay going. I mean, like, it's, I don't know how long the character creation is going to take, so, unless you want to take a break, we can.
I think we should take a break for the sake of everybody's bathroom needs, and also this is a good place, because the next thing we do is going to take, like, a half an hour.
Okay, cool.
Step in character creation is to assign attributes. World of Darkness has kept this particular part of the system largely the same through all of its incarnations.
I think it's a great system, honestly. Like, I think it's...
So World of Darkness has always been a dice pool system. Fine. Nothing wrong with that inherently. The character sheet is separated into hi bye cat. The character sheet is separated into 6 sections: physical attributes, skills, and then physical, social, and mental within each of those. So 6 sections.
Mm-hmm.
Within the attributes, there are the top 3 categories then, if you'll turn your attention to the character sheet. Physical, social, mental. Between those, you choose one section which will have 7 dots for you to place, one section which will have 5 dots for you to place, and one section which will have 3 dots for you to place. So feel free to ask any questions about how all that works.
So 7, 5, and 3. Now, I read in the book that some of the clans, they have like, okay, you should focus on mental stuff with this clan. Like, is that something that we're following here?
There may be recommendations. When you roll dice for a skill, say, the skill will have a base attribute that combines to the total roll, and that is also true for your discipline, I believe. So in that way, you might want to
just take a look at your, like, maybe 1 to 4 star dot powers, and if it says, look in the
like
system.
For example, since I have recently looked at vicissitude, I can tell Tux vicissitude cares about a medical skill, and medicine works into intelligence. So those things are things you should be thinking about as you work, as you fill out your, yes, kitty, you are a kitty. Well done. You figured it out. So take a second.
And so this is 753 in addition to the 1 that's already in there, right?
Yes, the 1, you can't have less than 1 in a skill. That would mean you are dead.
Sweet.
So what does one average for like people, or is like 3 average for people?
If you go to the attribute, it describes it.
Yeah.
So if that helps, it gives you like.
Book, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
So for
Okay,
example,
so 2 is
like
roughly average.
Right. Yeah. 2
Okay,
is
got
average.
it.
Yeah. Like strength, for example,
Can we
is
see
about.
the kitty?
Really?
I want to see the kitty.
Oh man, I'm super glad that they decided to add both the metric and the imperial measurements in the book. So
Hi, kitty. Oh.
Cat tax has been paid.
So cute. Hi, kitty. What's the kitty's name?
Her name is Mila, and then
Aw.
Daphne is over on the bed being a good behaving kitty who doesn't make noises during shows. Oh, it doesn't smell like shit. Oh, come on, Mila. God damn it.
So it seems like the somber stuff is all like manipulation for the most part.
Makes sense.
And occult. Now I can't really fucking say how I would have a cult, which is why I wanted to sort of like work in some sort of weird investigation stuff. But like
that'll have to come up in I mean, unless there are plenty of people who would. So here's the thing about occult, right?
Yeah.
The occult skill doesn't mean
Fucking
what
Indiana Jones, you know, like, yeah.
It doesn't mean what humans think occult is. It means actual occult. So all of your human experience with psychics and mediums, and yeah, both the cats have Siamese.
They're chatty.
And also they know how to play fetch.
My cat does too.
If all of your human experience, even as an investigator, can give you 0 dots in occult, because it's not real occultism. So if you need dots in occult to do things, then that's going to be a part of your solving the mystery of your sire storyline. It's going to be like, who actually knows some occult shit to teach me?
Yeah. So where did we fit? So I'm going to jump a little ahead here, because one of the traits that I was really interested in getting was an additional discipline, so that I can gain aspects into my character, because I'm really interested in like perception-based stuff, because he's an investigator, right? I want him to have something that he can fall back on in regarding that.
Now, that's true. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Didn't one of the bloodlines of Lasombra have aspects?
Maybe. Let me take a look.
Because I maybe it was the one we didn't want to do, but I seem to recall that. That's a very hefty cost. It's very expensive.
Yeah, it's a 5 cost thing, so it's like.
Well, and there's more cost than that too, because you have to spend the experience on having dots in it now.
No, they're only Dominion, Dominate, and Potence, Presence, and Obfuscate. The other one is Dominion. Dominate, Obtenebration, and Potence. So the Lasombra bloodlines in the book don't really.
Yeah, none of them have natively aspects, so you will need that discipline to get aspects if you're going to be Lasombra, or you will need that merit. Well, so that's fine. I imagine those build off of awareness or whatever, probably.
It's aspects is it is, what was it? It was perception and empathy for aura.
Makes sense.
The other one was perception, alertness. Rank 3 is Perception and empathy. Rep 4 is intelligence subterfuge, which is, that's telepathy though. So, and the last one is perception plus awareness. So it's mostly perception and maybe intelligence and some other stuff like that. So,
well, and also remember that another thing that'll help you, all of you. You have very strong ideas of what your characters were before they were sired. That'll be where they pull their skills. Yeah. So, hi, yes, Tux.
Do we have to buy our first dot and everything, or do we get one dot automatically?
No, you don't get one dot automatically. We're in attributes right now. In attributes, you get that first dot. That's why it's marked on the character sheet.
Okay, got it.
Because 0 is dead in any.
Got it. Okay.
A power that reduces your dots and reduces it to 0 means you become unalive. You're already unalive. You become more unalive than you already are.
Got it.
So in attributes, you don't pay for the first dot. In abilities, which is coming up in a hot second, as soon as everybody is done with their questions about attributes, you don't get the first dot for free.
So I'm going to put 7 in social, 5 in mental, and 3 in physical.
Yeah, same for me. And I've actually already populated mine.
Do we have any physical based characters?
Well, I mean,
because maybe I might go 7 social, 5 physical, and 3 mental. Like I don't.
So I did 7 mental, 5 physical, and 3 social. So
okay,
I've got a bit of physicalness.
Okay.
Tux can build you a physical character. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Sculpted out of clay.
Out of people.
There you go.
So
dreidel.
It'd be like a really,
I made you out of
flesh.
So Rick,
it'd be
it's
like
just
a really fucked up scene from Ghost instead of like clay. You're getting all sexy, and it's just like a human butt spinning on the thing.
So Wreckage, just
making the perfect butt.
Just real. Oh god, you're reminding me of that fucking comic from that sexy comic place. I forget what it was. He's just like, oh, you got a perfect butt, except for the fact that this one's slightly different, and he spends 7 hours spanking the guy to make it perfect, and then the butt flies off when it's perfectly round. Anyway, yeah.
You can't just go on a tangent like that.
I can. Is it 7 additional dots, or does it include the first one?
No, the first ones are free.
Okay, great.
You always have 1, so it's 7 on top of that. You can't, however, put any of them to 5.
Okay,
more.
So 4 is the limit. Yeah.
Yeah.
With abilities, you can't go over 3 yet, correct?
Okay. Yes. Yep.
Sorry.
All right, my attributes are done.
Yep, mine are done.
Right.
I did 7 mental, 5 social, 3 physical.
7 social, 5 mental, 3 physical.
7 social, 5 mental, 3 physical.
7 mental, 5 physical.
No, wait.
Hang on.
Are you sure your chemistry goes off of mental stuff? I mean, you don't have to build optimally, but did you check what your chemistry goes off of it?
I thought chemistry went off mental, but I'm not really sure how to.
Because I think it might go off of. In fact, I played Ravnos. It goes off manipulation.
Manipulate? Oh, really? Oh, fuck.
It's illusion crafting.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm gonna do. Fuck. Well, 7 social. That's being a social person doesn't.
Oh, it's a dexterity.
Wreckage.
Really
Just real quickly, I want to point out, because this happened in Sin Eaters, how much does stamina and strength and dexterity go towards defense and stuff?
I mean, they are the defense in combat.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are going to be incredibly powerful. Like, let's not understate how powerful your disciplines are, but I think it's very fitting that all of you aren't going to be great at punching, because you're going to have to be clever, not brute force when it comes to solving situations. Vampires.
And I fixed it, Wreckage. I kept 7, 5, and 3 in the same spot, but in manipulation, I put all 3 dots. And charisma and appearance are at 1.
That makes a lot of sense for your character.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. Mila, go get the ball. All right. Thank you. Now we can do attributes.
You mean abilities?
I mean, I do mean that. Kitty aggro. So abilities. You don't get a free dot. You can't put any of them over 3. And the sections are 13, 9, and 5.
13, 9, and 5.
So the one you choose as 5 is going to be really, really slim. So keep that in mind.
All right. So I think mine is going to be knowledges are going to be 13.
Keep in mind that your
Actually, maybe knowledges might be 9.
Yeah, I'm doing knowledges as 9.
keep in mind that
Is this the same thing where it's like, if you don't have a dot and drive, don't get in a fucking car? Is that what?
I bet. Yeah.
it is actually. You need at least 1 dot and drive to drive.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing for computers, where you need a dot in computers to be able to be like, or is it going to be like Zoolander, where it's like,
but
press the apple.
Let me point out. Let me point out that traffic in LA is terrible anyway. So many people don't drive as it is because
my character does not drive.
What about driving a gargoyle across space and time?
And Can we do that? Where's
guy.
that game?
This guy here.
Numenera coming up. So keep in mind also
you give me a gargoyle and I'll ride it.
Keep in mind also that these numbers are great for the character creation episode and everything, but if in the next week, something comes up and you're like, actually I realized that my thing doesn't work at all if I don't have this skill, which I don't have any points in, we can change it before the first show. It's not.
Oh yeah, I should definitely check out what the other. Oh fuck.
Sorry, it was 13, 9, and 5, right?
13, 9, and 5.
Okay.
Yep, mine is done. If you wanted to take a look if there's anything that doesn't make sense. I did grab 1 in occult, and that's because when I was away at boarding school for further rebellion, I studied the occult.
Okay.
I became like a Wiccan, kind of.
Right. Interesting. All right. Oh, that's what it does. Well, why does it only show up? Okay, never mind. Anyway. So, yeah.
I'm done.
He's done after a lot of furious typing.
I finished.
He did it.
You've done it.
Yep. It all makes sense.
As per my normal character creation, I just clicked on shit until there was bubbles filled out.
So what would like a typical I roll to persuade someone to do a thing be? What would the ability be for that?
The ability would be
etiquette, expression, subterfuge.
Okay, so how are you persuading them? Because that's how it always comes down in World of Darkness, because there isn't just persuade, which I appreciate, actually. Subterfuge is lying, intimidation is intimidation, empathy is if you are trying to relate to them in some way.
Okay.
Expression, though, and that's the one to point out, expression doesn't mean your ability to express yourself vocally. It literally means artistically. Expression is the skill you need to make a piece of art.
Okay.
And then you I have 3 dots in expression for music is basically what you say, and then that's what makes me good at expressing myself musically.
Got it. Okay.
What is animal ken?
That's how if you like cats, and cats like you, sort of thing.
You can make animals do what you want.
Well, lots of vampires have control animal powers and have animal buddy powers and turn into animals. So
I have animal buddy powers.
Yeah, I mean, I can turn into an animal, but does that mean I need animal ken?
If you want to bang one.
That took a turn.
Oh my god. I love this game. So yeah, Wreckage, do I need animal ken if I am planning on turning into an animal at some point?
Are you planning on turning into an animal?
I mean, that's one of my clans.
Okay, check your powers. Check in the system box in the dots. It'll tell you exactly what you're going to roll when you roll that skill.
Right.
So we're talking about your animalism power, right?
So yeah,
Right.
dot one.
You definitely every single dot of animalism rolls
Alright,
animal.
Dot one,
Yeah.
manipulation plus animal kin. Right?
Yep.
Dot two is charisma plus survival. Dot three
Yep.
is manipulation and intimidation.
Okay.
Or if you're forcing it through beast, manipulation and empathy. Dot four is manipulation and animal kin. And dot five is let's see here. Dot five is manipulation plus self-control / instinct. So,
So your manipulation skills, like they put together they were very sensible when they made Vampire the Masquerade. They put together sets of disciplines that work together. So your chemistry manipulation plays into your animalism manipulation quite well.
Right.
You don't also be aware that you don't have to start with doing a bunch of animalism stuff if you want.
Right.
But everybody has 3 disciplines, and you're not going to be great at all of them at the same time. You pretty much can't be.
Sure. So wait, would larceny make sense for myself then?
Do you steal stuff?
Yeah.
larceny is about breaking.
You're going like
breaking
like
and
larceny
entering.
is literally breaking and entering theft. Like
Sleight of hand is different. That's
criminating and criminal criminating cramming and criminal.
I think sleight of hand stuff like stealing from someone is more stealth, right?
No, you pretty much roll larceny anytime you are thieving, except for if, say, you are hacking the Pentagon. If you're stealing electronically, that larceny wouldn't come up at all. Larceny is for physical agility when it comes to theft. I think almost always the base is like dexterity too, like dex larceny to
Dex larceny.
pickpocket or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would use stealth to get up to the safe, but you would use larceny to crack it.
Yep.
You would use stealth to walk up to somebody unnoticed, but you would use larceny to pickpocket them.
Can you give me the difference between alertness and awareness?
Awareness is, I remember this. Alertness is physical alertness. Awareness is, and these are in general because the events will call for which role. The events in the book, the powers will. But in general, alertness is your actual physical alertness, and awareness is your spiritual, emotional, sort of mental awareness. How tuned in are you? How woke are you, bro?
That makes sense. To give an example, the Daughters of Cacophony cannot have alertness above 3 dots because they always hear a song.
Because of their clan weakness.
Yep.
They just can't be like
That alert.
terrible to stand guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I put 13 in talents, 5 in knowledge. Oh, wait, it's 13, 5, and 3? 9 and 3.
13, 9.
13, 9, and
9
5.
Okay. So I put 13 in talents, 9 in skills, and 5 in knowledge. I think I need to change that because I fucked that up. I think I put 9
I
in
did.
both of them too.
13 skills, 9 in knowledge, and 5 in talents.
13 skills, 9 talents, 5 knowledge.
I think.
Because girls only like guys with sweet skills.
Show me your skills.
Mostly nunchucks.
Build me a cake.
I caught this delicious bass for you.
What?
Gosh, we're Napoleon dynamiting, and no one's picking
the
up.
No, I know
Lord
exactly what you're
Talons?
doing. I'm just ignoring you guys.
Dave,
You see, I have a
are you
high
drinking-
alertness.
Are you
so-
drinking 2% milk? Because you could totally be drinking full milk if you wanted.
Thanks. Thanks, man. That means a lot.
Don't mention it.
Oh man, these are spread out. See, this is now okay. We're about to get into the part of the show where World of Darkness is infamous, poorly structured books come into play. Because we've all done abilities. Great, excellent. Step 4 is advantages, which is choosing your disciplines. You have 3 dots to put into them.
Okay, I have a question about choosing the disciplines. 3 are listed under the Daughters of Cacophony. Do I just have to take those?
No, so here's the thing. You have those 3 disciplines, period. Okay. But you can't use them if you don't have a dot in them. Gotcha. What this is saying is assign dots, of which you have 3 to start with, and that's it. So if you have 1 in each, then you can use each of them to their 1th degree.
Can you say?
And then can you pick additional ones, or are you?
Oh no, there's a trait for that, a merit for that, which costs floors.
I don't want to pick another one. I'm just curious. Like I have my 3. I'm happy with those, but.
Don't worry. Like if you don't put a dot in one of them, you still have it. Like you can put the dot later with experience purchases.
Sure.
Dave is going to be taking a character creation merit to get an extra discipline, which you would have to do at this point in time. Otherwise, in game, you have to eat somebody to get an extra discipline. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah, but it's going to cost me. Like, don't think it's going to be free. It's going to be like, well, I have a limp, I have nightmares, and I can't see. Like that's going to be what I'm going to have to do to get.
And I can't see.
You know.
Right. So anyway, so you also do backgrounds and virtues, which means we have to go get the background section of the book, which I
the background section is it is in where the fuck is it? I saw it before.
Page 118.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. So, this is where it gets complicated. So you have 3 points for your disciplines. You have 5 points for backgrounds, and 7 points for your virtues. Now, there will be a step coming up where you get freebie points that will help you do more with these if you wish. So keep that in mind. Disciplines should be fairly self-explanatory for you at this point because we've talked about them sort of ad nauseum. You can look at the specific things to see how you want to assign them. Virtues, you don't really need to look anything up for them. They come up when it looks like they come up. Conscious, self-control, courage, etc. But you can look them up. They are also in a random place in the book where you won't expect them to be. But they affect some of your stats, like your starting humanity, and you have 7 points to assign in them, but you can't. They all have 1 dot at least.
So, as far as backgrounds go, we're picking multiple backgrounds?
You have 5 dots to assign to background stuff.
Right. So, I've only selected one background, so I pick.
Generation level 5. I'm 8th generation. Get fucked, nerds. Like,
yeah,
you could do that.
Understand.
No, you can totally do that. Like, that's fine. You have 5 dots. You can put across 5 backgrounds, or you can put 5 dots into 1 background, or 3 into 1 into yeah.
So we can have more than 1 background.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay.
Well, with the way our story is starting, would some of these not make sense since we're like just starting out as vampires?
Some of these don't make sense at all because some of them are like herd.
Mm-hmm.
Which I could get if I put enough points in fame.
Well, so you will be able to get these things later also, keep in mind.
Sure.
But a lot of these, here's the problem. This background section is making the assumption that you are making vampires that are en media res. They have been vampires for a while.
Sure.
So these backgrounds are largely based on vampiric background.
So Records, what I was doing was alternate identity and contacts because I felt that made sense with what I was doing before I was a vampire. I needed like a hacker alternate identity in order to do my evil shit online. and I have contacts in order to get the evil shit that I put online.
That's totally fine.
So I didn't want to pick any more backgrounds than that. Can we add more backgrounds later?
Yeah, that's something you can buy later.
Okay.
So you can't. Well, for example, if you end up getting a herd, you purchase it.
Okay.
Like you will represent it mechanically.
Cool.
Sure.
So I put 3 dots in alternate identity and 2 in contacts.
There is, by the way, a limitation on generation, but I'm trying to find it.
Okay.
Continue unabated.
Because I'm interested in the generation one.
See page 270 for further information.
Wow, 270? Jesus.
270.
That just explains the benefits of generation. It doesn't remind people that they can't just put all 5 points into generation, which they can't do.
Oh. Man. Okay, so I think I'm gonna be a rich mofo.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
I'm gonna have some resources.
Yes, do remember that if you don't have resources, you don't have any money at all.
I have no money.
Alright, yeah, so I need to do resources.
I have 3 resources. I am comfortable.
So 2 in alternate identity, 2 in contacts, 1 in resources.
I think I want 1 contact. I'll have 1 generation.
I noticed that they don't have expert knowledges here in the abilities list wreckage. Do you have any idea why?
I have no. What are you asking?
In the book, they actually have expert knowledge. Like you can be an expert at, say, drones or something like that, right? Or like archaeology, right? But they don't have it in the abilities section.
Well, because abilities are your skills; those are set.
No,
Expert
but
is
this
like a
this is a skill. This is counted as a skill in the book.
I don't think so. I think it's counted as a merit.
Nope. Go to page 110. It's the last skill in the knowledge section that they talk about. Just before the background startup. Like, so for example, as a doctor, maybe you would have a doctorate, aka 4 points in expert knowledge. Just a thought. Anywho.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in how many dots is 2 resource? What does that give you?
Moderate.
Okay.
You can display yourself as a good member in good standing of the middle class.
Okay, yeah.
With the
Right.
occasional gift.
So, an expert knowledge is anything that is primarily intellectual, mental, or nature and should be studied. Storytellers should first examine the list of existing knowledges to determine if a particular field of expertise might fall under one of those. For example, forensics is a specialty of investigation. So that's how expert knowledge comes into play.
But
It's like a specialization underneath another skill. It was the same way in Sin Eaters, actually, if you recall.
where do we put those?
If you get them, you put it.
In advantages?
Yeah.
Like other traits?
Yeah.
How many dots do we get for virtues again?
You get 7.
7.
And can you kind of explain how those work? Because the book, at least for me, doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
The book is what I have for it too.
The dots actually next to the dots. So if you look at page 127 and 128, right next to the dots under like conscience and self-control, it's pretty explanatory. It's like 2 is normal, and if you just have 1 dot, you're in conscious, you're uncaring, you're cold. So you would probably have 1 in conscious, and yeah.
So one
Well,
thing
I'm
to
just
be
saying,
aware
like,
of,
do I have to put 7?
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I don't feel like I have much of a conscience, and I don't feel like I have much self-control.
Maybe
Yeah,
you're
but
brave though, or
that,
you're
like-
courageous.
2 is average, man. So
Okay.
okay, but here and also it's important. This is very important. At character creation, a character's humanity is equal to his conscious plus self-control. Humanity is very, very, very important.
Yeah.
You can't not have it. If you don't have it, you literally lose the capacity to control your character. Your character becomes an NPC bestial monster thing. So I think willpower is also derived from 2 of these stats. So
And so there's 1 in all of them, so it's 7 on top of the 1.
right.
Okay.
1
It just
because
seems-
you can't have 0.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot. I don't know. That's what I wasn't necessarily confused about how it works. It's just it seemed like a lot was going into it, and that's what I didn't understand. But it makes sense.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, and then like self-control is not like, oh, am I gonna give in and eat this piece of candy when I know I shouldn't? It's like over like your inner vampire beast thing.
It's much more
Specified than like just general. These are very specific to like being a vampire. They're not just your general conscience or your general self-control. It's like, as a vampire, am I going to give in to my inner beast and just go eat all of these people's blood, or can I like hold myself in?
It's a much more supernatural thing, because obviously vampires don't have a conscience. Obviously they lack self-control. You know, these things come with being a vampire. But they also have a next level of self-control where they are restraining a beast that lives inside of their blood.
Mm-hmm. So I put 3 dots in conscience, 2 in self-control, and 3 in courage. Well, that's more than 7. Jesus, fucking idiot.
Yeah, I've got 2, 2, 3, but it amounts to more because it started with 1 each.
Yep.
I see. Yeah, so I did 1, 3, 3. Yeah.
Yep. My totals are 4 conscience, 3 self-control, 3 courage.
Yeah, so 2 conscience, 4 self-control, 4 courage. Those are my totals.
Yeah, I got 2 in conscience and self-control, and 3 in courage.
That doesn't seem like enough.
That's 7. I don't include the first.
That's not including the first dot.
Oh, sorry. I was including my first dot in those numbers.
Mm-hmm,
Yep,
mm-hmm,
me too.
mm-hmm.
Coolio.
Okay.
Nexto.
Has everybody done backgrounds too?
Yes.
Yes.
I've got resources. Rekka, do you want to know about generation? Because I want to pick a higher generation.
Right. Here's what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that there is a purchasing limitation on generation that I can't find. It might just be one of those things that is a universal house rule that everyone agrees is a good idea that never made it into the books.
Mm-hmm.
So as part of the narrative, I want everybody to mark down that they are 9th generation.
Oh, up at the
For
top.
free?
Yep. You're all 9th generation.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Okay.
But nobody then can purchase generation either.
Okay.
got it.
That's fair. See, I was
Okay.
gonna pick 9th generation as a purchase. So
Cool.
you know,
So I'm
I'm
gonna
talking
dock
Talking
it.
about my generation.
So I was thinking of getting allies.
It also makes sense.
What's the likelihood that I can have human allies and use them in this game? Is that a thing, or do they have to be vampiric?
I think you can. Let me go look at the wording of allies. I don't think there's a reason why, as long as
Family,
you
friends, or
pretend
even a
to be human,
mortal
it's
organization that owes you some loyalty.
right. They owe you loyalty. So it depends on. So, Allies works like many of the background and like resource ones where they still use the dot based system, and it kind of gets a little squiffy. Like at 1 dot you have 1 ally of moderate influence and power. At 2 dots you have 2 allies of moderate power. Well, at 2 dots you can also just have 1 ally of slightly more power. Like, you're shifting around amorphous concepts when you get dots of allies. So, like, and the difference between, like allies and contacts or allies and mentor, is that with an ally, they are just on your side. They don't owe you anything. So if you go up to them, if you have an ally, even a very powerful ally, and you're like, oh, you work the docks, I need you to ignore this shipment, okay? And they're like, sure, what are you doing for me? Like, think of allies in the same way that like,
so if I wanted to say have someone who like, so I'm gonna harp on this again because I really want this in my character. I want him, or maybe a colleague, or maybe like someone like his police chief, like maybe even the police chief, for example, to be someone of important to him, and when he gets embraced, whatever chain of command that falls under knows him in some way, you know.
what he's trying to say.
Because being an investigator was a big thing for him,
Right.
So, you know, I want his merits of being an investigator to extend into the vampire world.
Well, what'll happen is, I mean, you can have an ally that's in the police, but the way it'll work is, have you ever watched Big O? Like, he's not with the police anymore, but he's constantly like, remember that time that I pulled you out of that fire? And he's like, God damn it, Roger.
Well,
fine.
I'm not saying it has to be allies, but it could be contacts, and it could be what's the other one?
Like, what do you want it to do?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it seems like contacts would also make sense, because if you're an investigator or were an investigator, you would sort of have those contacts built up over time, right?
Yeah, but okay, so what I want, Wreckage, and this is as plain as I can make it, I want his renown or his skills to be known to certain individuals within the Anarchs. Whoever controls the police.
It sounds like you want fame then.
Yeah, and that's not possible.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, I've got this whole concept in my mind about this character, and nothing's coming through. Like, I can't find a way to make that happen.
Well, look, let me explain why it's not possible. The actions of a mortal do not matter to vampire society, period, end of story. You cannot be famous with vampires before you become a vampire, because they don't care about anything you've ever done. Everything you've ever done as a human is beneath them. So even if you were a super great detective, you can have the police chief know that you were a super great detective. You can have fame with police officers. You can have, you could even have fame with humans if you want, being that great of a detective if you've done major cases that hit the news. All of that is possible. Anarchs, vampires, don't care about what's happening in the mortal world. They never do. Like, and it is not, it's not negotiable. I can't make it happen for you. I'm sorry. I can't make them.
Then I don't really understand how people like freshly started like we are can have resources, mentors, influence, herds, fame, allies, contacts, domains.
A lot of these you can't.
Like
a lot of these, we literally said this at the top. A lot of these are designed for, like, the game lets you build vampires who are ancient or vampires who are new. So they have to have all of the things in there for ancient vampires and new vampires. Herd, domain. Those things are for ancient vampires. If your sires if the part of the story wasn't that your sires were leaving you behind and this whole weird thing, you could easily have mentor through sires. You could easily have things through them, but you're on your own. That's part of the narrative. So, but resources is just money. It has nothing to do with being a vampire. It's just how much money you have. Like, a lot of these still apply. And again, you can get the fame. You can choose who you're famous with. So you could choose to be famous within the police department, or you could choose to have allies within the police department.
Okay, well, I mean, can I just take influence? Is that going to be
you could
fine?
have influence in the police department.
All right.
That would be totally fine.
Okay. And you said it's 7 points, right?
No, you have 5 for backgrounds total.
5 for backgrounds? Okay, so I'm going to put 3...
7 is virtue.
3 in influence and 2 in resources.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm taking 3 resources, 1 contact, and 1 ally.
2 fame, 3 resources.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have 2 alternate identity, 2 contact, 1 resource.
So
All right.
what do I... with the disciplines wreckage, if I take aspects because of the background trait, do I have to put one of the 3 into it?
When you take it, you will have to put a freebie point in it.
Okay. So,
Speaking of which, we're now getting to that.
mhm.
So step 5, record your humanity. So tally up your conscious and your self-control. And that's how much humanity you have. Your willpower is equal to your courage and blood pool. No, it's not equal to your courage and blood pool. Sorry, it's equal to your courage and also tally up your blood pool from your generation. Sorry,
So-
that's what that sentence is
Okay,
supposed to be
so-
as.
Wait, what just happened?
Generation, I
So-
think, is 14 blood pool. And we can spend 2 per turn.
So, because we're 9th generation, we have 14 blood pool.
Yeah, and you can
Yep.
spend 2 blood per turn. Yep. So, what... Courage seems completely weird in that virtues list, then. If it doesn't
Courage
add...
is about your ability to face things that usually scare vampires. So like fire, sunlight, other things that usually scare vampires.
Okay.
Not just your ability to be not afraid of things. It's like, because from what Wreckage told me, like literally, if a vampire sees fire, the inner beast within them is like, fire hurts us. Get the fuck away from that shit.
Yeah, you will make willpower and self-control and courage checks against frenzy as vampires is something that you will make a lot of checks against. And if you fail them, you will frenzy, which means that you lose control of your character, and the beast does whatever it can to get away from whatever you just lost your frenzy check against.
So I'm curious, who has the highest humanity out of the group then? I have 6.
What-
I have 6.
I
What's
have
humanity
6.
start as again?
It's conscience and self-control.
I have 7 then.
Okay, so you're the highest humanity out of everyone? Okay. Is 6 a pretty reasonable number to start with, Wreckage, or...?
Oh, totally.
Yeah?
And then what is bearing below humanity?
Like, that's which way you're facing. So, in my case, it would be west, I believe.
Really?
So.
Okay.
All right, my humanity
be-
is south.
I'll be facing north then.
Can you want the actual answer to that question, I assume?
Yeah.
I would like that.
Oh, and the dots underneath humanity, those dots equal the humanity, is that right?
Hold on a second. I'm getting 2
Yeah.
questions out at once.
Oh, sorry.
So fill in the boxes. Bearing. That is a good question. What is that?
I have no idea. I didn't read it anyway.
Yeah.
I know how humanity works. I don't remember if there's a bearing. Do they mean path?
A character's
No.
bearing...
No, the
oh, wait,
path goes on top.
Bearing. A vampire's morality has a direct impact on her bearing. A feeling that the kindred unconsciously projects. The greater the vampire's humanity or path rating, the stronger his tenacity is. For example, vampires on humanity have a bearing of normalcy. The humane connection that such vampires hold keep them from seeming strange and terrifying to mortals. So, for example, 7 through 4, there's no modifier on your bearing. But if you, say, were to go 9 to 8, you would have a -1 to difficulty. And if you were to go to 3 to 2 on your bearing, on your humanity, you would have a +1 difficulty to seeming normal to
Yeah, it
mortals
means
and stuff.
you're. Yeah,
So
I mean,
we have no modifier.
Yeah, we
That's
have
what
no
put in
modifier
there.
right now. So
right.
Okay.
You're all perfectly average, and that is something worth saying about the humanity rating. As we play the game, we will make checks on the humanity scale, and people's humanity will lower
Mm-hmm.
or increase. That's unlikely, but it might increase. It might lower.
So I'm
Your-
not sure where the humanity path rating is.
I think that's when you take the passive enlightenment, which we don't have since we're
don't worry
new
about it.
vampires.
Yeah, you have the normal path, which should be listed right there, unless it isn't. In which case, I can get you the normal path, no problem. But the normal path is like it's very straightforward. It's like 7 is theft.
Okay, so
6 is like assault. It's
Yeah.
very straightforward. If you do the thing that is a number below your current number, you have to make a humanity check, and if you fail it, then you lower your number.
okay.
Okay.
So if you like 1 is uncaring murder, like you murder something and don't care, like 2 is like planned hateful murder. 1 is like callous uncaring murder. So if you just start caring people and not even caring about it, you're going to drop humanity real quick. And as your humanity goes down, a couple of things happen. Your bearing changes, like the game says. You become increasingly less human and more bestial. But also, you have to spend more of the night asleep. You can't. You have to sleep more. You have to drink more. You have to feed more.
So it's worth pointing out the average humanity for humans is 7.
Yeah.
So
most
a
humans
normal
are like
human
7.
being is just like, yeah, what up?
Okay, so 6 makes sense for a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 6 is perfectly normal for now. I have to eat people.
Well.
Right. So, and we've filled in our blood pool and all of that. Now we spend freebie points.
Well, hold on. Sorry, the dots underneath humanity, should that be 6 then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're.
Okay.
You have
Yep,
it
and then I
rated.
just typed out no modifier
So,
in bearing.
Brian,
Yes.
your virtues, add up your conscience and your self-control, and that's how many dots you fill out in your humanity path.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, but I put in the block. Also, I wrote down 6. Is that not?
In your
and the
block, put 0.
is-
Yeah,
yeah.
because that's how much
0. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Coolio. Does our willpower start out 5 it's just set as?
Yeah, I had 5 in my willpower. I had to lower it to 4 because that was what my courage is.
Yeah.
So I lowered it to 4.
Mine's at 4.
but
as well,
it
so.
populated with
it
5.
equals it equals our courage.
I believe that's what. Yeah. Rex
Yes,
said.
but you can't have 0. Is that maybe why it had 1 at first?
Mine just
Yeah,
had
it
5.
starts out-
I
it
think
starts
all
out
of
at
us
5.
started at 5.
Oh,
so I had to
okay.
lower it by
All right.
1.
Never mind. Don't even worry about it. You're right. You're correct.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And sorry, I think I just phased into another reality there for a second. The boxes underneath willpower.
Nothing.
Or-
Don't worry
Oh
about that.
yeah, I
Nothing.
don't know those check boxes. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, those are so in the system. Oh, right. So in this system, willpower is you remember this from Sin Eaters, maybe. I sure don't. Exactly how it is.
It's a
Willpower.
currency.
It's a currency for re-rolling.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. Yep.
You
You
spend your
just
willpower.
populate it with-
I think you maybe get an extra dice. Or
Yeah, it's for
you
boosting and
re-roll.
it's for re-rolling.
Yeah.
It does those things, the specifics of which are lost on maybe called Old World of
It
Darkness.
enables his character to do something extraordinary, like maintain self-control or gain an automatic success.
Yeah.
All right.
So we just leave it at 4, and then when we spend it, we deduct it just to keep
Yeah.
track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Now-
gain it upon sleep or some junk?
probably.
You regain willpower as it says you do for your like nature and demeanor. Those say how you regain willpower. For example,
oh, right.
Sputnik regains willpower from being a sadist to people.
Sure.
Right.
Now, for those of you who are my players who are doing this now and will need to continue to do this, you're going to need to open up the book twice, because you're going to need to have one page open on page 90 in the PDF reader, which describes how you spend freebie points. And you're going to need your other page open on page 487 in the appendix. Because freebie points, you have 15 of them to spend. And that's the last thing that we're going to do now is spend freebie points. How they are spent is listed there.
Can I open you?
Would it perhaps be different for mine? I type in 487 and it says there is no page numbered 487.
It's page 90.
Never
no.
mind. Never mind. I opened the LA at night.
Yeah.
There is no LA at Night, page 487. It's not that big, thank God. The main book is, though.
And I'm sorry, we have how many freebie points?
15.
But they're how they are spent.
Yeah,
varies.
so for example, you can spend 7 points to get an extra dot in your discipline, which is very, very powerful.
Which is why Dave has to spend 12 of his freebie points to get his extra discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry. What page was the 487?
Right. 487 is where the merits and flaws begin.
Yeah.
Now,
So there's 3 categories.
Any 1 point of a flaw gives you an extra freebie point.
Yeah.
Any point of a merit has to be spent with a freebie point, and freebie points can also apply to your attributes and abilities and traits and etc.
Yeah, so there was one that I really wanted. It was selective feeding, I think it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Which is to say, I can't feed on law enforcement.
Now, is that how that reads? There is something you can't eat, because usually selective feeding is it's only one thing you can eat.
No,
That's
it's
usually what selective
some.
feeding is.
Hang on, let me. I know it's a flaw.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a flaw.
I'm trying to find it here.
It's probably under supernatural.
Yeah,
Wait, how-
sympathizer. No, that's not it.
Question, Tux?
How many freebie points do we get?
15.
And you can get more by taking flaws.
And
Oh, that's what that says. Okay. I was gonna, under the appendix it says 22 freebie points, but that's if you take 7 points of bad
Yeah,
loss.
you can only take 7 points of flaws.
Okay.
Like you can't take
Got
more
it.
than 7. So
Where's the cost of what freebie points are?
That's the other
Page
page.
90.
Page 90 in the PDF reader. It says what freebie points.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
How they are spent. They are not just 1-to-1 for everything. Is
no,
the
they're
phrase.
not. Yeah.
Okay, so attributes are 5.
God, where the fuck is it?
Okay. So if we take a flaw, depending on how many points that flaw is, that adds to our freebie points.
You can only take up to
Correct.
7 points worth of flaws.
Gotcha.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
you can't take 2 5-level flaws, for example.
As a way of preventing huge min-maxing.
Though
So,
this
like-
is pretty much min-maxing, right? So
Dexterity.
So I'm certainly taking Vengeful then, which is a 2-point flaw.
You have a score to settle incurred either during your mortal days or after the embrace. You are obsessed with taking your revenge on an individual or group, and it is your overriding priority in any situation where you encounter the object of your revenge. You may temporarily resist the need for vengeance by spending for willpower. What
Yep.
is your vengeance focus?
Beautiful women.
Are you making an incel?
No.
so
Why do you need revenge against beautiful women? That's getting weird, Brian. Gonna be honest.
Because of my breakup with the woman. I guess it's pretty broad, isn't it?
so
Yeah, it should be that woman specifically.
yeah, it should be that one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So there's also worth pointing out
I see.
there's a merit in here which you might be interested in. It's called computer aptitude.
Yeah,
so
where is that?
it's under mental merits. So it'll remove 2 difficulty from your computer chest. which
Oh,
is
there it is.
really cool. So like,
So when I take a merit, I
it costs 2
lose
points from your freebie
from your
points.
freebie. Okay.
But if you take a floor, which you just did,
Right.
you like, for example, your floor I think was a 3 cost floor or a 2 cost.
2.
So you're basically you're getting a free
Even out.
merit, right? So
Yeah, it evens out. Okay, vengeful and aptitude.
So there's a merit in here, Tuesday, which you might like. It's called Enchanting Voice. It's 2 points. There is something about your voice that others can't ignore. When you command, they are cowed. When you seduce, they swoon. Whether threatening, soothing, persuading, or simply talking, your voice commands attention. The difficulty of all roles involving the use of the voice to persuade, charm, or command is reduced by 2.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's a 2-point merit. It's under physical, so.
Sweet. Thanks.
I'm interested in taking Early Riser as well. Because I believe you can only go to a certain point. You have to wake up at a particular thing, right? So
You have to wake up at a particular thing based on your humanity score, and with Early Riser, you can get that even to the point where you are waking up before sunset, but you certainly can't go outside.
Yeah.
Like,
when you have eternity to read, Wreckage, you know, like, you want to spend more time reading, right? So
I fucking love the floss stereotype.
yeah, stereotype. You are a stereotype vampire.
yeah,
That is hilarious.
I bomb to suck your blood.
You wear a cape or body glitter, speak with an accent, and otherwise act in a cartoonish fashion.
So Wreckage, the thing I was looking for is called Prey Exclusion.
Prey exclusion.
You refuse to hunt a certain class of prey. You might refuse to feed on drug dealers, policemen, accountants, or rich people. If you accidentally feed upon such an individual, you automatically frenzy and must take a roll to prevent humanity or path loss. Difficulty 7. Witnessing other kindred feeding on the object of your exclusion might also provoke frenzy at the storyteller's discretion.
Is that what category is that under?
That is under, I believe, mental.
There it is. Found it. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's fine. Only Venture can't take this, and it absolutely is policemen. It means, everybody should be a little bit careful about feeding from policemen around Dave.
So
he'll find this is one of those things that you won't inherently know either. Like, it won't be until it happens that you suddenly realize that those are that's part of your supernatural curse now.
So the merit that I'm taking, there's one that I wanted to ask about, Wreckage, in particular, that it seemed really fucking powerful, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
What was it called? I think it's where is it? No, that's not it.
I'm gonna take Repulsed by Garlic.
Are you really?
Oh my
Yes.
god.
That's a lot of food that would push you off, man.
I know.
At this point, Wreckage, in our in our abilities, we can go above 3 now, or no?
Yes,
I
believe so.
Let me double check that. Depends on how it reads. Yeah, no, you can at this point.
Okay.
It does cost 2 per dot. You are still limited to 5, however.
Yeah, can't go over 5.
Because, and this is a thing that everybody should be aware of, 5 is the literal magic number in Old World of Darkness.
Anything over 5 is like you're like
peak.
old. Yeah.
Well, no, 5 is literal peak human, peak supernatural period, and you can only get past 5 by, I think you need to be 6th generation or younger.
Yeah.
So it's like you need to be literally supernaturally imbued with the power in order to get past 5. So just keep that in mind.
God, I'm still trying to find this one. Sorry. It's super hard to like remember where things are. I had a list, but then, you know, yeah.
Do you remember what it did?
It makes it so that getting skills is easier. Precocious, yeah. You learn quickly. The time for you to pick up a particular ability or abilities at storyteller's discretion is cut in half, as is the experience cost. Page 485.
All right,
it's a 3-point merit.
You're here. Right, so early riser. All right. And then precocious.
Repulsed by garlic. Kick/twitch.
Okay.
So we'll make sure you can afford all this, Dave. Because
no, I'm asking about it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's 3 points, which is
pretty expensive.
Well, it's especially expensive considering, remember that 12 of your 15 freebie points are accounted for.
Yeah, so 12 for an extra dot.
Right, because when you take extra discipline, you also have to put a dot in it. So, and it's 7 per dot of discipline. So it's a 5-point merit that then requires 7 to have 1 dot in. Yeah. So 12.
Are you sure? Because
yes. It literally reads.
Do you have to put it in there or automatically?
Yeah, it literally reads you must have the experience points to buy this.
Okay.
But let me take a look at precocious and see if anything about that is.
Yeah, because there's abilities, right? So it's
skills.
So it'd be like finance. You can learn it quicker than anything else. Sort of
what I need to look up is what the actual cost is that we're having. Like, because if we're having 2 to 1, that's not such a big deal. But if we're having 10 to 5 or something, that's a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm. The other one I was interested in taking is the Supernatural Advisor one, which seemed cool.
How much does that one cost?
Like 2.
Right, here we go, experience costs. Well, that's annoying. Okay. So, an ability cost is the cost of getting a new ability is the current rating times 2, which would mean that your precocious merit would make it cost the current rating.
So to go from 6 to 7 would cost 7 instead of 14.
Right.
Which
is
strong.
6 instead of 12. Yeah, that's pretty.
That's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. Yeah, but it's only for one ability, right? So you choose what it is when you buy this merit. It does say
one ability.
Yes, it's
not just in general.
That would make it more reasonable because I was going to grab that too. If it's for one ability, it's less attractive.
You learn quickly the time you take to pick a particular ability or abilities at the storyteller discretion is cut in half, as is the experience cost. So here's the thing about precocious, Dave. Here's the thing. If it's multiple abilities, it's too strong. If it's one ability, it almost seems too weak.
It really depends. Like, for example, if you're going all in on intimidation.
Right, but if you're going all in on intimidation, remember that you can't get above 5 without being supernaturally gifted anyway.
What, even in the ability school?
Yes. Everything is limited to 5.
Huh. That seems really strange then.
No, yeah. That, I don't think that that's a good choice. because I think it only works if I give it to multiple abilities, but if I give it to multiple abilities, it's a little too strong.
Yeah, you know, like that. That's why I was asking, because it seems like, I mean, a GM could look at that in either way and go, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You can do whatever you want," or like, you know, be a little bit more.
I guess in truth, if you told me, Wreckage, I really want this, I would probably let you have it, because my vision of this campaign is not. I'm not concerned about you guys getting too powerful too quickly in this campaign, because my goal for this is not like a multi-year epic. Now, granted, we've never done a multi-year epic, but it's worth pointing out that I usually set out to tell one. I usually am planning to do that, and it, you know, people quit the show, they move, they have to fly across the country, they die. Lots of things have prevented Die Party shows from being multi-year epics. This one, I'm not even really planning a multi-year epic. So, of course, it'll be the one that becomes a multi-year epic.
All right, so...
Can I, Wreckage, just to clarify, I just want to make sure I'm not cheating here.
Okay.
So on the freebie points, it says for ability, it's 2 points per dot.
Yep.
So that's literally just, I spend 2 freebie points and I get an extra dot in ability.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Could you clarify, so there's a, where'd you go? There is a merit called Healing Touch. It says you can heal your bites by touching them.
Yeah, normally you have to lick them like a cat sort of thing.
Does that, like, what benefit does that give me?
Or you can, you know, touch the back of your neck, for example, and heal yourself.
No, okay, hold on. Let me find Healing Touch. What page is it on?
It is 493, 501 in the PDF.
Roger, one moment. Healing Touch. Normally, vampires can only seal the wounds they inflict from bleeding by licking them, but with a touch, you can achieve the same effect, closing the puncture wounds left by drinking blood. What I think the idea here is that it helps you be stealthy about it, but honestly, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because like licking doesn't seem like it would make a difference.
Yeah, like it's not. It would make a lot of sense as a merit if, you know, normally people can't seal wounds or of the bite, but you always can. It's called the Kiss of Cain, and you licked it clean. So I don't see how a touch is better than that. I mean, like, if someone catches you with your mouth around someone's neck, the fact that you then touch their neck as opposed to licking it is not that much more.
Like, how common is it for a vampire to, you know, do the bite and then lick the little dots? The vamp.
Always.
Always, yeah.
You never leave the bites.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Grinchtastic says it prevents violations of the Masquerade from feeding.
Not really, though, because you still have to bite. Like, the Healing Touch doesn't... I see what you... Like, because you still have to... You know, you still have to bite someone to drink. So, if you already have to be in a stealthy situation to bite someone and drink them. And presumably you have time to lick the wound closed. Like, I don't see how it's that much faster or more stealthy to, after you bite someone on the thigh, neck, wherever, to touch it instead of lick it. Like, I can sort of see the thought there. Like, the thought is touching is easier than licking. Like, I can see some fringe cases where, like, you're interrupted and you don't have time to lick it clean, but instead you, like, casually place your hand or whatever. But that's a fringe scenario. Like, that's a very fringe scenario for you.
Yeah, I guess, like, can you just, like, and it's done, or do you have to, like, spend time, like, lapping it up?
My understanding is that you just have to brush your tongue over it.
Yeah, so then,
No, you have to get in there real deep, like.
Yeah, it sounds like Grinch has the same sort of thought as me, which is that it mostly applies to the fringe cases where maybe you're interrupted in a feeding session. Like, if you're interrupted in a feeding session unexpectedly, normally you have to somehow hide the wound and also be like, oh, she's fine, she's just a little drunk, because also feeding makes people go extremely loopy so that they don't remember that it's happened. So during and after feeding, someone is like, if somebody catches you, their first assumption will be that you roofied them or something, which is still pretty bad. But it doesn't violate the Masquerade unless the wound is still there. With this ability, you can ensure that the wound isn't there, even if you get interrupted feeding. But, like, those are for fringe, you get interrupted feeding cases, and that's about it. Which I suppose if you want to, if you think you're going to be doing a lot of dangerous feeding in nightclubs, maybe that's a good merit. But my assumption is that your character, whatever his name is going to be, is probably going to be a careful feeder.
You know, maybe Tuesday and I are both in a club when she's performing, and I get a little hungry. You know,
Yeah, he gets a little hungry.
I get a little hungry. I get a little hungry sometimes.
Like you do.
And dangerous feeding in nightclubs is also a good band name.
Yeah, that's true.
That is good.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna
have
take
a
it.
question.
I don't care.
You're taking it. Okay.
I mean, it fits.
I have a question.
Yep.
Melpomene is clan specific for me, and I
Yep.
do not start with that. I put it in the list, but I can't put a point in it yet. Is that right?
Why can't you put a point into it yet?
We were discussing that we don't have our special. If we're a super rare clan, we may not have those special abilities.
No.
until them.
You definitely have them.
Great.
In fact, you have the point. No, it's the opposite, Tuesday. It's you start with however many you start with, and then after that, learning more dots is the part that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Aha.
Because
So
it's
stat
whatever
dump
isn't
into the one you want to use.
whatever
anyway.
is
Gotcha.
it's like what is innate to you as a vampire,
Sure.
and then you might need a mentor to learn better than that.
Okay.
Now, I'm not guaranteeing that you have to have a mentor to get further dots.
Because it might be
It'll-
really
it'll
hard for
usually-
the Ravenous, you know, like.
It's gonna be story based. Like if Brian is sitting there using an illusion literally every encounter, or multiple illusions literally every encounter, and then he's like, yo, I want to get the next dot in chemistry, I'm not gonna be like, no, because he's obviously put the work into chemistry, right? But if Dave is sitting there, for example, only using shadows every once in a while because maybe he wants to keep these La Sombra hidden, and then he's like, I want the fourth dot in Obtenebration, I'll be like, you barely use the power, so I don't, and you don't have someone to teach you the fourth dot, so I don't see how that's going to happen right now. You know, maybe put some time into studying it or something. Like it's all going to be very. There's going to be no hard and fast rules. It's all going to be, we're going to talk it out.
Sure.
That's the gist.
There's not a lot of like cool flaws in here to help make up for the fact that I have a huge expenditure.
Oh yeah, there is. The one that I took, you can't cross water unless you're 50 feet above it. A body of water, like a river, or
Someone
So it's not
spills
a
their
little puddle
coke.
on the sidewalk.
Yeah, someone
So
spills
yeah, it
their
doesn't
coke
count
in the
for a puddle on
nightclub.
the sidewalk. It has to be an actual named body of water.
That's awesome.
I dubbed the puddle of gentry. Darn it, I can't cross it now.
Fuck.
Shit.
Great.
I guess I'll
Why'd
float
you do
50
that?
feet in the air. Oh, you could just walk around it or cross the street. Nope.
Well, I can never eat garlic fries.
Oh, God, that's
That
terrible.
does suck.
Well, I
know.
mean, like, food doesn't taste good for
What
you
have
anyway.
you done?
It does if you're me, who took eating food for one point.
Awesome.
Mm.
Repel.
Grip of the Damned. Oh my god, that's a fucking rough one.
Hmm.
Yeah. So normally people fall into ecstasy when you feed from them. Grip of the Damned flaw means you are going to have problems.
Kind of want another flaw now.
Yeah.
I kind of want to take where was it at? Mistaken identity, You look similar to descriptions of
you're
another
Matt
kindred, which
Damon, aren't you? I mean, you look
No,
like
no,
him.
no. This happens all the time. I just have one of those faces.
Yeah, no, that's Matt Damon. I saw him in that movie that one time.
Is that Matt Damon?
Holy crap, that's Matt Damon.
Okay, so here's the thing, Tux. You can't take mistaken identity.
Can he take mistaken identity
Because I can
and
very
be
easily
Matt
fix that.
Damon? Like,
Because you can literally
Because
for
I can
sessions
just fix
like,
my face.
different face.
Boom, fixed. Free point.
3 points.
yeah, but here's the thing. Every time he does it to himself,
Yeah,
it looks like someone else. You know, like,
I always happen to look like another person.
No, GM, this time I'm putting a dick in the middle of my face. There's nobody who
oh
has
my
a dick.
god,
Hey,
it's like
Big
Bruce
Face
Willis.
Greg.
Oh my god.
He looks like Big Face Guy.
It's Big Face Greg. What's up, man? I haven't seen you since college.
Oh my god, is that the guy from American Pie? Seriously?
Holy shit.
No, but as fun as hilarious as a running gag that would be, I don't have enough knowledge of
Doesn't matter.
Of
Google
90s
random
celebrities.
celebrity.
90 celebrity.
All right, I changed my face. Is that Matt Damon? Damn it. Is that Ben Affleck?
Holy crap, I'm pretty sure that's David Hasselhoff. He's really short though. Oh, now my eye hurts from laughing.
10 out of 10 impressions, says the chat. Oh yeah, no, these are great impressions of random strangers.
Hey, David, give me your best David Knight impression. Do it. It's like,
let's go, car.
yeah, it's totally him.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, boyos. After we do the freebie points, which I understand a couple people are still sort of mulling about, we're done. So
Oh goodness.
Potentially, if you're having tough decisions being made, then we could just leave it here.
Yeah, I'm still thinking on it, but I can finish it up.
Well,
tonight.
yeah, if it feels like it might actually take some amount of thought, we don't need to get them done in the show here. We can certainly go back at the top of the next episode, and we almost certainly will revisit what everybody's stats are.
So I took Daredevil. So that leaves me with like 1 point. So I'm trying to find another floor that I can take so that I can take Early Riser as well.
Because you want. So what so far have you purchased?
I
remember, freebie points can also go into stats and abilities if you haven't touched them at all.
I know, and it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to because of how much it's going to cost me to get Auspex. But in the long run, Auspex is going to be very useful. So, so I've purchased a Discipline dot for Auspex. I've also purchased Auspex. That's 12 points.
12.
I took Daredevil, which is 3.
That costs 3. It's a merit.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Daredevil costs 3. It like, hang on, where is it?
What does it do?
You're good at taking risks and even better at surviving them when attempting an exceptionally risky non-combat action such as leaping across moving car to another. Characters with this merit add an additional 3 die to their rolls and negate a single botched die that may result from such a roll. Generally,
that's really cool. That's a really cool merit.
It is, yeah,
Dave,
super good.
Dave.
Yes.
Remember you have that merit.
Oh, no, I will, definitely.
I might not remember you have that.
Yeah. So it's super good, especially for getting away with 15. Yeah. So, and then I have Prey Exclusion Policeman, which gives me 1 extra point.
Does it only give you 1?
Yeah, it's only 1. It seems like.
No, it's not. It's if it was the Ventru Curse, like it would make sense to give it. But it's Prey Exclusion, which I think is worth 1.
Yeah, it's 1. Yeah, it's 1.
So 1, you have 1 now.
Yeah. So what I want to get is I want to get where was it? It was
Early Riser.
Early Riser, which I believe is 2 points.
I think it was 1 actually.
Oh really?
Maybe. I mean,
Early resident. Oh, it's 1 point. Okay.
yeah. So you can just be flush right now.
All right. Yeah. Done. I'm flush.
All right. So
Is
you
that
wake
ever
up
gonna?
like-
Hang on. Before I take this, is it ever gonna come up, or is it always gonna be one of those things where, like, am I actually gonna, like, say we're doing like an investigation? Am I actually gonna get like mechanical benefits for being up earlier than literally every single other person? Because it counts as 10 humanity, which, you know,
is the highest
the
waking up
highest,
that you could
the highest,
possibly have.
yeah, the highest you can get.
So the thing is, let's fuck. If I see if I can find it in the book actually, humanity. Because here's the thing, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the crew obviously won't wake up that early.
No, I know that, and that's why I'm saying, like, in the instance where we're like, okay, we need to find out information about this fucking idiot or something like that. Can I have a mechanical benefit of, like, being able to do a roll in the time it takes for those people to wake up, so that we can?
There's going to be a problem.
Yeah. This is why I wanted to ask about it, because it's going to come up.
Problem, and I think what the problem is that the majority of bonus time that you're getting is actually before sundown. So like, I have to get to the page that actually describes humanity and awakening.
What's a dawn caller?
What is a dawn caller?
Apparently, that's what chat is saying, that would be a dawn caller.
Oh, it must be a term for vampires who wake
I'm
up.
gonna look it up.
All right, humanity 10 to 8. Humanities with ratings this high, ironically, more human than human. Many fledgling vampires sometimes adhere to codes more rigorous than they held in life. In truth, blah, 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 blah. They are almost unbearable by their peers and find frustration and repeated naivety. Other version to killing and a distaste. Bro, that's all obvious. Where does it talk about waking up? Because I know that's part of it. Thank you, Tox. Please stop whispering.
Your humanity or path score is considered to be a 10 for the purpose of deciding when you rise each evening.
Right. I'm trying to find where it lists that information.
Maybe under humanity?
Yeah, I'm there looking for it.
Okay.
Vampires sleep unnaturally deeply and are loath to rise, even in present with danger. Vampires with higher humanity rise earlier in the evening than vampires with lower humanity rate. Also, victim is forced to act during the day. The maximum dice pool he may employ for any action is equal to his humanity rating. So that doesn't tell me that. Where does it give me times? Fucking Christ in a handbasket.
Let's look at the index.
So I'm definitely taking Lord of the Flies.
Really? You're gonna walk around?
Really?
Yes.
That's
Really?
kind of fucked up, man. Why would you take that?
Really?
Yeah. I
Really?
think so. Yeah. Why?
Because
Why
it's gonna be really intense. It's like a problem.
I know.
No one's gonna want to be around you.
That's a flaw, right?
Have you seen
I know
American?
it's a flaw, but it's a pretty big flaw for like the entire group, really. Like, how is the entire group supposed to bring you to places if you're covered?
I'm gonna use that to give me an extra dot in my stealth ability, which will bring me up to 4 dots. So I'll be able to sort of
Yeah, but it counteracts
counteract.
stealth.
Well, but I know, but it gives it +2 difficulty.
It gives a stealth difficulty, but you're gonna buy stealth with the.
All right. Well, it was either that or eerie presence.
Eerie presence is cool.
Okay.
Eerie presence is cool.
Yeah, that's
All
just
right.
like there's something odd about you. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
much
what it
better.
is.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do eerie presence.
Oh, Dawn Caller's a D&D thing. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Yeah. All right. So humanity.
All right, here's the thing. Let's put a hold on early riser, because I literally cannot find. Like, they list torpor, but that's not what we're talking about.
Torbjorn?
Torgon?
Torpor.
Oh, my turret!
All right, let's Google this. When do vampires rise?
After the sun goes down.
Okay, it's actually talking about early riser.
Right, perfect.
There's apparently a chart somewhere. Basically, they all arise at 6 p.m. If you have the merit, you arise at 5 p.m. But if you have to deal with the sun being up, but you have to deal with the sun being still up for an hour. Okay, so the sun comes up at 5 p.m. is still up at 5 p.m. But you wake up at 5 p.m.
Sounds like you get an hour before sundown because sundown does change. So at early riser you get an hour before sundown, and when do you have to go to bed?
No. I guess I go to bed at the same time, but I just wake up an hour.
Right, because you only have early riser, right? So you go to bed when everybody else does, but you wake up an hour before.
Okay, so
sundown.
apparently it's on. Okay, I was gonna say it's on 311, but it's the same quote that you just read just then. But yeah.
Yeah, there's no chart on 311. Like there should be a fucking chart. There's a chart somewhere.
Okay.
There's a chart somewhere.
So they're saying like house rules is 15 minutes per. No, that seems dumb. But yeah, a lot of people are saying like just do it by hour chunks or whatever.
So like here's the thought: is that you're going to get an extra. You're going to get maybe. So let's say. I don't know the specifics. This is not hard and fast. But let us say that everybody in general who has a decent humanity rating wakes up an hour after sundown, say. And early riser lets you wake up an hour before sundown. Well, that's 2 extra hours a night. But one of those hours you can't
go outside.
You can't do anything really. Oh. Like you can read books and study, and like the internet's not really all that great yet. So actually, the internet's pretty okay. Like, the internet... We'll talk about technology in our setting.
Okay, well, I'm still considering taking it because, if anything, it would give me a chance to, maybe learn something or whatever. Like, spend time improving myself that I wouldn't normally get otherwise.
I believe also... Wait, hold on a second. There might be a different merit that you want, actually.
Okay. You mean like the one where you wake up at the moment's notice or something like that?
Yeah, light sleeper.
That's 2 points.
That might be the one you want instead, though, because it's better. So like early riser is you wake up every night an hour early, and that's great. Light sleeper is. Remember when you wanted to be a hunting game and you wanted to hunt vampires? One of the best ways for a human hunter to kill a vampire is discover where he sleeps during the day, because if he breaks in, he can pretty much kill the vampire without the vampire waking up. Almost. Light sleeper means that if somebody sends their ghouls after you, if werewolves come after you during the day, no matter what it is, you wake up and you're fully alert while you're defending yourself.
Okay, that seems very specific.
It is specific. Like, it's light sleeping. It means that you don't suffer the inherent weakness of supernatural sleep during the day.
I still want to take the early riser. I think I'll take that.
Okay.
So, all right, that's me. Got my stuff all done.
Does anybody else have any questions? You don't need to be done. But if you don't have any other questions, I think we will move into.
Do you want to hear what we've chosen so far, or?
Yeah, if you have chosen things.
Okay.
Do please.
So for my points, I took an extra point in dexterity, and then 2 in etiquette, 1 in firearms, and 2 in finance.
Okay.
And then,
okay.
I took a one point flaw repulsed by garlic. 1 point flaw, tick or twitch, and I'm going to say I snap my fingers a lot when I get nervous or tense situation or whatever.
Sure. Okay.
And then for those, I chose a 1 point merit of concentration. and then my 1 point healing touch.
What's concentration do?
Basically, I don't get any like negative die for like situations where like stuff is going on or like distracting stuff. Like if I have to if I'm trying to fleshcraft something and there's a bunch of stuff going on, like I don't get like.
Like if he's trying to fleshcraft in the middle of an action scene, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be like, look, it's really difficult for you to be it was really delicate procedure. Usually you want to be like on a surgery table. Nope, he can basically perform field surgery. Like, he's got no problem. He's cool as a mountain lake under fire.
Yeah.
He's as cool as a mountain lake that Tuesday Gray cannot cross.
Yeah.
Great. This is gonna be great.
Specifically, it does have to be running water. So
That's a good thing.
Someone
is a
get
good
Tux a fidget spinner.
fidget spinners haven't been invented yet. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Quick, get me some pogs.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck yeah,
they're
Pogs,
back.
Invest
I'm taking
everything in the Pogs.
I'm taking the 10-point merit Pog World Champion.
My slammer is the best slammer.
I just have a brick.
So what did you pick, Brian?
So I took for merits computer aptitude, which any rolls involving computers are -2 difficulty. Vengeful, which means if I run across my ex-girlfriend, basically, I have to deal with it no matter what, unless I use willpower to resist. And then I took eerie presence, which means that humans, when they're around me, like we were saying, they're like, something's not right with you. And so any social interaction with mortals, any roles involving that involve a +2 difficulty.
But which is fine because you're like antisocial.
A
anyway.
jackass anyway.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I'm an asshole anyway.
And what
so.
about you, Tuesday? What did you pick?
So for merits, I took enchanting voice and
Fuck
eat
yeah.
food.
And eat food, really?
Yeah, sure did.
Oh,
It
that's
costs
fucking
1 point.
awesome! Oh my god, that
so I
is
can
so
actually eat food.
flavorful.
I can pretend to be normal.
Mhm.
For Foz, I
And
took.
wait, does that? So there is a thing you can do, Wreckage. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more, and maybe this might change your mind on it. But you can spend 12 blood points to enjoy sex and food for 24 hours or something like that.
It's called Flush of Life. It's an ability that all vampires have. It's not 12 blood points. It's like 2.
I mean, I looked at it in the book, and it's literally 12 blood points. So
Ooh.
It's I recall it being cheaper, but also not lasting a whole day. It lasts like an hour. That my recollection of that power is that it's like 2 blood points and it lasts for an hour.
look it up.
So it would cost 12 to do a whole day.
Yeah, if there was an enjoy sex one, that would be good for my hedonistic nature, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's also from Tuesday. You're still. Have you beaten Bloodlines yet?
I have not. I'm only like 12 hours in.
Okay, you can have sex with one of the characters in which she describes how to use the power Flush of Life in order for you guys to have sex.
Sweet. Okay.
So just,
And as a female, I still can?
yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Because sometimes they take away that option. It's really annoying.
That's pretty awesome.
I'm pretty certain.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, go ahead. What else?
So Flush of Life is a thing that we can all just spend to have, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like you can also do like blood powers. I think it. What do they call it? There's something in here about bumping your stats up by spending blood.
Right. We'll talk about all of the abilities that vampires get later on, because honestly, the book is so dense. I haven't even finished reading all of it, as
It's pretty.
evidenced
yeah.
by.
Me knowing.
If I can use Flush of Life, I will probably kill, eat food, and just take another points. Looks like background is only 1 cost.
You need eat food to eat food.
You need eat food to eat food. Okay. So Flush of Life is.
Blush of Life is the illusion of life. It makes your heart start pumping again. It makes you breathe air again. It makes and you need that to, if you're a dude, get a boner, or if you're a lady, have organ. You need to be alive to have those things.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
your body turns back on, but you still can't eat food without the eat food merit.
Okay, I'm keeping it. And then I spent 7 points for points in presence. 7
Nice.
points for a point in fortitude, and 1
Nice.
point for an additional willpower, bringing me up to 5 willpower.
Where did you put your points in your discipline then?
My discipline points are 1 in presence, 1 in fortitude, and 3 in melpomene.
Fucking awesome.
That's
Actually, where did
pretty
Tux
badass.
and you guys put? Where did Brian and Tux put theirs?
So go ahead, Tux.
I have 1 in Auspex and 2 in Vicissitude.
I gave myself 1 in fortitude, so now I have 2 in chemistry. Chemistry. God damn it, I can't say that. fucking word.
Chemistry.
So you just drop that extra R out of there. It's CHIMERSTRY.
Yes, because the way you say chyme, the word chyme in this case has an R at the end of it.
Oh, okay. Chemistry.
No, it's like chemistry,
Chemistry. Gotcha.
but it's
gotcha.
chemistry.
Like Chimera Street.
Fucking A. All right. 1 in animalism, 1 in fortitude. I bumped up 1 dot in alternate identity. I gave myself 4 dots in technology, 4 in computer. Bumped up larceny and animal chem and subterfuge. And I gave myself 1 extra willpower. So I'm up to 5.
Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, my discipline's 3 points in obtenebration and 1 point in auspex. So I can use shadow tentacles now. Ooh.
Coolio.
Which is all I wanted to do since the beginning of time. And if Storyteller Spire is still in the chat, I have her to thank for that. So yeah. I think that's pretty much it, really, right? I mean, like, what else is there to do in character creation?
We made characters.
Your characters are done. So we, as always, will continue to talk over our Discord over the course of the week. So there might still be minor changes. For the most part, we're done. And next week, at the same time, in the same place, we will have the first episode where we learn how all of these weird bloodlines are going to get involved and what's going to happen in the free states with our characters. It's going to be, I can tell you this, it's going to be an explosive start.
It's going to be a corpse party.
There's going to be a lot of surprises. There's going to be a lot of surprises in that first hour, so be sure to get here on time if you're coming.
You say prizes?
Surprises.
We might also be on the front page of Twitch.
Heyo!
Heyo!
So we'll see.
So, and then you can be a hipster and be like, I was here before it was on the front page of Twitch. I was here for episode 00. You guys don't...
I was here for episode -01.
You guys don't appreciate Die Party like I do? I'm a Die Party super fan. Okay.
If you're a Die Party super fan, you'd sign up to the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's do some fucking shout outs then. Let's shout some people out. Tuesday Gray, Captain and King of Grey Castle. What's up?
Yeah. So I am Tuesday Gray. You can find me at /Tuesday Gray on Twitch and Twitter. I will probably be playing Battlegrounds tomorrow on stream. I'm just super hooked. Maybe some Friday the 13th later on.
Yo, is that worth $40? Is that worth $40?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It's not. I had purchased it before it was, when it was in beta. So I was pretty excited about it. I wouldn't recommend it for $40. I would wait for it to go on sale because the replayability is just not there for $40.
What game?
Friday the
13th.
Oh yeah, no, I bet that's not worth $40.
It's not a $40 game, but it's still fun. So I'll probably be hitting some of that too, and I'm super duper looking forward to next week.
All right, let's talk about. All right, guys, place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Place your bets. We've got high odds on Dr. Thomas playing another female. But we'll see how we go.
Get the over under in. See how things go. We'll let's spin the roulette and see what happens next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tuxedomus. You can find me on the Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all those at /Tuxedomus. Yeah, I'm also really looking forward to next week. If you need to see me on some more Die Party stuff, you can, because I'm here tomorrow and Thursday. So that's really cool. And I will see you then, hopefully.
Nice. And last but not least, from the player side of things, we have Mr. Sputnik, aka Brad Dizzler. What up, sir?
Yo,
Welcome back to World of Darkness, motherfucker.
Yeah, man. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. It's been a while. You can find me on Twitch /Sputnik71. Twitter, you got to put an underscore in between Sputnik and 71.
Oh, isn't that just the worst to try and explain that shit?
I fucking hate that
Like,
shit. But, whatever.
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure I earn the Twitter Henley handle. I'm 100% sure I own it. I just don't know what email address it's connected to, and it's a fucking piece of shit. So
I'm on there. I have YouTube, so you can find links to all my shit on my Twitch page. And I also have a podcast I do with my dad called Motion Sickness the Show. You can just search for Motion Sickness the Show on iTunes and SoundCloud. Basically, my dad was a lawyer for like 40 years and a law professor, and it's him trying to teach my dumb ass about law and me failing horribly. So it's pretty fun, informative listen, so y'all should check it out. But yeah, and I'm also on this channel on Thursday, Friday nights as well. And I think tomorrow I'll probably be streaming more Gwent because I'm fucking addicted and I can't stop. Please send help.
I can send help to you. Speaking about helping his fellow man, let's go to our storyteller for the game, Mr. Dr. Wreckage. What up, sir?
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Wreckage. I sure do stream things on the internet.
Do you? Are you starting that shit up? Oh, you haven't moved yet. No, you haven't.
Look, I am still in the green room. Actually, if everything goes according to plan, my new room will also be green. I like the color green.
It's
very
color
soothing.
of money and grass.
No, not the color, not money green, like evergreen.
Like vibrant green, like so green it hurts your eyes when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, no, not that kind of green. Yeah, when I move, I'll do stuff on my own channel. But for now, you're stuck with me on Die Party, which the plan is to do 3 shows a week. Let's see how that works out. Definitely.
No, you're playing in one, so you don't even really have to do anything there. I mean, you barely show up sometimes, so. The game is autopilot. Just say dicks a couple of times, everyone laughs. So it's like.
But yeah. Look, the problem is that I have to be there for 4 hours. Like, I have to be there at 7 until 11, and that's the real. Like, obviously, it's super easy and fun for me to play.
Poor man.
It's super easy and fun for me to play bricks. I can't always fit for it. Like, I got a lot of. Anyway, tomorrow, like Tuck said, there's Void Barons where I play the captain. But Thursday is when I'm the GM again for Numenera. And last week, our players went to the sun. That's going to resolve this week, and it's going to be more fun than you think it's going to be. I've said the last 2 weeks, are you ready for the best episode of Numenera yet? And that's because I thought both of those weeks we would make it to the sun. I don't know why I was such a fool to think that they would get through those things quickly. Now that we're actually on the sun, finally, are you ready for the best episode of Numenera yet?
We don't do anything quickly in that game.
Or ever. I expect this to be a slow game as well.
All right. Guys and girls, thank you very much for watching and participating in tonight's character creation episode. I really like doing these things because it sort of exposes the especially with older systems where it's a little more like, all right, guys, here's a checklist of shit to do. It's character creation for me is a lot of fun. I enjoy them a lot. So next week we're gonna have names. I'm gonna have a name. Everyone's gonna have their little name tags on the bottom of their thingies. It's gonna be good. Tux is gonna probably be a woman. So
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So guys, if you haven't already done so, consider following the channel. And if you're feeling real saucy, why not subscribe, get access to my cock, and spread that all over Twitch. There's a lot of cute ones. There's one with a heart. You know, plenty of really good ones. And yeah, check out the schedule, exclamation point schedule for all the Die Party shenanigans going on this week. A special announcement that we will be returning to Die Party Gambit, a Star Wars Edge of the Empire game. But it's not Edge of the Empire anymore. It's Force and Destiny, because it's going to be a complete Jedi party of people coming in. That's Fuzzy Freaks, Kika, Peach Pixelate, and who's the last one? Oh, yeah, Tessixka. Yes, absolutely. I completely forgot about her, that she was on there too. So that's going to be cool. We're going to have a full party for that. That's at Friday, 9 a.m. PST. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I got some real shenanigans, and I'm going to throw them through. So, yeah.
Cool.
Guys and girls, we're going to leave it there, but thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all later today for the daily stream. Good night, everyone.